I'll record too.
Okay.
Okay, everybody record. Josh, start recording.
Alright, I don't have any recording programs, but
Well,
Y'all ready to record? Dun, 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 dun.
do you have like one of those tapes? You can just hold it up to your
Tape, a Talkboy tape recorder.
a tape deck, yes.
tape
All
deck.
right.
Just hold it up to your
Let me
microphone.
just. Apparently, I'm the villager, so I'm just gonna whip it out of my pocket.
Bust out your yak
Oh.
back.
Yak Back Plus.
Oh man, that's funny.
Let me know when everybody's ready so we can do this damn introduction.
I'm ready.
I'm ready.
I'm ready.
I'm ready, I'm
I'm
ready,
ready.
I'm ready.
I'm ready.
Kyle, you good?
Yeah.
All right. All right, viewers, welcome to our annual E3 podcast. We've done this every year for the past 4 years, so we figured we might as well do it for 2014. We're going to be talking about everything E3, including the stuff we probably don't really care about. We're going to try to gloss through it. Sorry if you're really into Forza.
Dumb
Anything that
things.
isn't Nintendo.
Yeah. Sorry if you're really into Forza, but we're going to probably just skip right through that. Anyway, for those of you who don't know, I'm Matt. We got Ricky here.
Yo.
We got David.
Hello.
Josh.
You said annual.
Don.
Hey.
And
Josh said annual.
special guest back from the dead, Kyle.
Ooh.
Josh, were you holding on to
Cat.
that one for a long time?
Yeah.
You
was
can hear the
ho-
giggling.
He was hoping
before
he
it even
was
started.
hoping he was first. He was hoping he was first. Anyway, let's just get going so that we got to get through this. This has to be shorter than Sony's press conference. So that's
Oh snap!
Burn.
Spoilers. It
Shots
won't
fired. Shots fired.
let's start at the beginning. Microsoft was first. They started their thing off first, and I feel like Microsoft is the one that we care about the least. So let's just get through this.
Fortunate for us.
It definitely is for me, but I think they had a better conference than Sony.
I think they
So.
did. I think they did too, but there's just
Spoilers.
less I care about just from them.
Yeah.
Well, go ahead, Josh. Go ahead.
Until I showed up, Until I showed up the night that Sony's press conference was, I thought that Nintendo was day one, so I missed Microsoft.
Oh, well,
So yeah.
Microsoft showed off a few things. The biggest thing they showed off was the Halo Master Chief Collection and Halo 5.
Why Halo again?
Yeah, Master Chief Collection is just the first 4 games again with
How many Halo games are there now?
A lot.
One,
Well, there's
two,
gonna be
four,
5.
Reach.
ODST,
My head.
Wars.
Oh, I thought that was Halo OST, the original soundtrack.
No, there's
Original damn soundtrack.
ODST, and then now Halo 5 is on its way, and they're remastering Halo 2 just like they did with Halo 1, which is Halo 2 is the most popular one, so that makes sense. It's gonna make them a lot of money, I'm sure.
Yeah, I think the collection is cool. I'm sure it'll sell well.
I just
but,
don't care.
Because why else would you have an Xbox?
Yeah. I don't.
I'm not
I don't
int-
own Go ahead.
Or
Nope.
don't, whatever.
Okay. Yeah.
Interested in
Well-
shooters? I'm definitely not interested in shooters that involve aliens, unless it's Metroid.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I don't own an Xbox One, and I don't plan to. Nothing that they showed off, as cool as some of it was, nothing they showed off was cool enough to get me to buy an Xbox One. So,
Nothing's a system seller.
yeah. I mean, everybody knows that Halo multiplayer is super fun. Even if
Yep.
you like first-person shooters, it's a really fun time. So, that's
Halo-
great. I just
Halo
don't-
itself is fun, I've played a couple of them and I really enjoyed myself, but I would never go out and buy a system so I could play it again.
Yeah. Well, that's.
Way to go, Microsoft.
I just don't care about the Xbox One right now. Like, there's nothing that they have that I want. And like at the E3, they didn't even announce anything. The coolest thing they showed off was Sunset Overdrive. I think that game looks super cool, but I don't want to play it enough to go buy the system. So,
Are we going to talk about that now?
yeah, I mean, sure. I don't really. Do you want to talk about Crackdown or Phantom Dust?
Well, I just wanted to say this is a common problem at E3, not just with Microsoft. Every year, the Crackdown trailer is really cool, very cinematic, but there's no gameplay footage in it. And who gives a shit about trailers that don't have any gameplay footage?
I feel like
Like,
Phantom
they
Dust
might
was
as-
the same.
Well, they might as well just be showing you
The trailer
paint
for
dry.
me.
This is important because it'll come up again later.
Well, at least with Sunset Overdrive, it started with like a cinematic, and it was really funny, and then it like cuts into like footage, like from the trailer.
Yeah, I think the Sunset Overdrive trailer was brilliant because it starts with super gritty, boring, cover-based shootouts like every other shooter in the world.
Which is ironic since most of Microsoft's press conference featured games like that. But go on, go on.
Exactly. No, it starts out like that, only to be like, no, that shit's boring. We're not doing that. And then it becomes this thing, and then it even looks like the trailer is over, and it looks like they've done, yet again, a trailer with no actual gameplay footage. And then they're like, the dude knocks on the screen, and he's like, no, we're not doing that shit either. Here's some cool gameplay footage. Like that trailer was amazing. That game actually looks super fun, but like I said, not fun enough to buy an Xbox.
Yeah, if it was like multi-platform, I'd play it no problem. And like maybe somewhere down the road when if and when I get an Xbox One for like $200
in a thrift store,
maybe I'll get Sunset Overdrive to go with it because I think that game looks fun. It's just my kind of style of like game like that. It's not
so. It's very colorful and very like video gamey.
He even mentions that.
Yeah, well, I mean, it looks like everything in it, like they didn't care about, they just want it to be cool and fun, and like they don't care about like if it is taking itself seriously or not, and I admire it a lot for that.
Yeah, there's a lot of like parkour and like it's got the shooting sections with like crazy weapons. There's like a freeze gun and some shit like that. Like it wasn't taking itself seriously. You could like do the like BioShock Infinite thing where you're like zip lining, kind of.
Well,
they showed that.
You're more grinding, but yeah.
Well, they showed zip lining too, but it looked like a lot of fun. Like I'm really interested in that game. It's just not interested enough to buy an Xbox One.
The whole thing about that is like whether or not the game turns out to be fun. That's one of the best game trailers I've ever seen.
Right, it was one of the best ones at E3. I think.
Yeah,
I definitely think so. It was the highlight of Microsoft's conference for me. Well,
so it's all downhill from here.
Right.
Yep.
Well, I don't know if they did this right after that, but they showed off some really cool DLC for Dead Rising 3. I don't know if any of you saw that, but it's like a 4-player beat-em-up mode where you can dress up in like crazy like Capcom costumes.
Oh.
I think I saw some of the costumes, but I didn't see like the trailer or anything.
It's just Dead Rising, but they made it like a brawler. Like instead of like making weapons and stuff, each character has like their own specific weapons and stuff, and like you can deck them out, and like you could dress Frank West up as Sigma or Chuck Green up as Felicia. It
was Mega Man a costume?
No, he was
Mega Man doesn't exist. What are you talking about?
Don't care.
Sigma was.
Don't care.
Sigma was. But they had costumes from like
from
Power Stone and stuff like that. Go on,
it's expected, to be honest. I wanted to say it's honestly super expected that they were going to feature a Mega Man series character, but not Mega Man himself.
Yeah.
But I think it's absolutely hilarious. Ian actually pointed this out to me. But pretty much aside from like Street Fighter and I guess Resident Evil, but pretty much aside from that, the franchises like that they were cosplaying as are all dead franchises.
Yeah,
Darkstalkers, Dino Crisis, Mega Man. Yeah, it's Dead Rising. Yeah. It's very fitting.
It's dead Capcom games rising. I get it. It's funny.
You guys were talking about how Sunset Overdrive is colorful and not very serious, and I'm just looking at my list. Tell me about Ori and the Blind Forest, because that also looks like it deviates from normal Microsoft fanfare.
I don't know much about Ori and the Blind Forest except for that it's kind of, I think it's an indie game, and it's very colorful and it's just cool looking. Other than that, I really don't know much about it.
I haven't seen anything of that one.
Oh, it was. I think it was one of the first things they talked about at the conference.
Was it one of the like? Did it get kind of swept under at the indie games montage, or
no? It had its own section. Okay. The art style, it's very. It reminds me a lot of Child of Light in a way, but the character designs kind of remind me a little bit of like, at least like the big fat thing at the beginning reminds me of Miyazaki, like Studio Ghibli. It's like a side scroller like adventure game, with just hand drawn stuff. It's very very cool looking. there's not much known about it at this time, except for that it's going to be on I think it's on 360, Xbox One, and then it'll be on PC as well. So I can play that one.
All right.
Right, and the one that's above that on my list that I'm looking at is Project Spark.
Project Spark had another cool trailer, but again, not a whole lot of gameplay footage. Seems like it could be kind of cool. I think what they're trying to do is like a 3D Little Big Planet. But
they are. They showed it off last year as well.
Like how I said that Sunset Overdrive had one of the best trailers I've ever seen. Fucking Project Spark had like the biggest dick move in a trailer I've ever seen in my life. And everybody knows exactly what I'm talking about.
I don't.
Mm-hmm.
Conquer?
Oh, yeah, okay.
Conker's in it, which is awesome, right? Like, that's just a cool, even if he's not in his own game, it's cool that they're acknowledging that Conker exists, right?
Yep.
But they straight up have him say in the trailer, like, been 10 years since the last game. Guess we'll have to make our own. Like, fuck you guys. Like, just straight up, fuck you,
Well,
man.
Rare has
What does
nothing
that
to...
even mean? We'll have to make our own.
Well, the game is about making your own game. Project Spark is a
Oh,
game where
okay.
you make a game, pretty much. It's
All right,
it's
I was not aware of
it's
that.
Disney Infinity, but like way more intuitive, like way more like it's deeper. They showed it off last year. They like showed off like building terrains and stuff, and they went into it a little bit more this time. And they just showed that Concord's going to be in it, and like Rare has nothing to do with that game, so that's interesting.
Nor do any of the people who actually worked on Conker still work at Rare. So
Right.
it's
Except
just
for that guy doing his voice, apparently.
it's just the way that they chose to reveal that was just a dick punch to any like Rare fans from the old school days. So literally everybody, I mean, John Tron did a video about it. Everybody was tweeting about how that was some bullshit. Phil was like crying. I know. Phil, by the way, is unfortunately not with us at the moment. He is probably sleeping because it is like 1 or 2 a.m. over there. But
tweeted.
We're kind of keeping our fingers crossed that he'll show up to join us. But anyway, yeah, fuck you guys.
Yeah, that was a dick move. But I want to go back to indies for a second because they showed 2 indies.
Cuphead?
That's one of them. 2 of them that I'm really interested in. The first is Cuphead, which Ricky just mentioned, which is they've showed very little of Cuphead.
Yeah, there's barely any gameplay footage, but at least that they didn't try to mask that with like not gameplay footage. They just were like, "Here's Cuphead for 10 seconds." Cuphead looks awesome.
So what is Cuphead? Because I missed this whole conference, so I don't know any of these words you guys are saying.
It's
neither do I.
It's like it's completely hand drawn animation that looks like old school Disney cartoons. You know, everybody's all happy and smiling and bobbing up and down.
Oh, that's great.
It's just kind of like a side scroller. It's got like
it looks kind of like a Mega Man. You kind of jump and that's
okay.
That's
pretty much all we've seen.
Yeah, but it looks awesome.
Yeah, the thing that looks so cool about it is the art style because they really went balls out in making it look like an old Mickey Mouse cartoon. Like it's not just that they drew it that way, but I mean there's like film grain and like sort of dirt on the cells or whatever. Yeah. It's really looks awesome.
That's great.
Yeah, it's it was one of the like most surprising things to me because I had never heard of it before. That one's also going to come out on Steam, so I can play that one, which makes me so happy because that's one of my like favorite games of the show, even though there's literally a 30-second trailer for it. So I'm really excited for that one.
I'm excited about Cuphead too.
The second indie game I wanted to talk about was Inside, which is developed by the same people who made Limbo, and I love Limbo, and Inside just looks like Limbo again. But in a more like futuristic setting. It's still like all silhouetted. You play as like an older boy this time, but it's like cities and like stuff like that. It looks to be pretty much the same concept, so I'm sure it'll still be good because I liked Limbo a lot.
Limbo was great though.
Yeah, I love Limbo. I really enjoyed it. I would recommend anybody play that one for sure. So I look forward to Inside. I don't know if it's going to be exclusive. Limbo wasn't, so I'm hoping this one isn't either. That's all I had to say about the indies. They showed off a lot of indies, but they just glossed over all of them.
All right.
What next?
Onward.
Next I have on this list that I wrote is actually Evolve, which actually looks really cool. Do you guys know what that one is?
Is it about Pokemon?
No.
Ooh.
Evolve is it's being developed by people who worked on Left 4 Dead, and
Turtle Rock.
Yes, it's a 4-player versus 1-player game where 4 people control like humans, and they're being stalked by another player who's playing as a giant monster, and that giant monster is trying to evolve into a bigger monster to, just fuck shit up. And it just looks like a cool co-op game. Like,
That's pretty neat.
it's just 4 people like on a team against a giant fucking monstrosity of a person. It's just it looks cool. I watched quite a bit of gameplay footage of it, and it looks like fun. So
No, I'll have to check that one out. I've seen nothing
yeah.
about
I
it.
like Left 4 Dead a lot. Left 4 Dead 2 is a great game. It's one of the best co-op games ever made, I think. And I think Evolve could follow in that footsteps. So
All right.
I think the sad thing about Evolve, in my opinion, is that it's not coming to Wii U, and I feel like it's kind of designed to like take advantage of the gamepad. Like the gamepad
Yeah.
could be the monster guy, and
Yeah.
everybody else could 4 players split screen on the big TV.
That
But
is-
unfortunately.
that is a missed
That is kind of
opportunity, but
disappointing.
like nothing's coming to the Wii U. So
Oh, R.I.P. Wii.
it's not like it surprised me. Anyway, almost done with Microsoft here. Last 2 things I have on my list is Killer Instinct Season 2. I don't know if any of you care about that.
I kind of
don't know
do,
what
only
it is.
because I liked the first couple Killer Instinct games, and I heard the new one was cool mechanically, but kind of screwed everybody over in concept. So, what do we know about that?
Just that.
We're getting TJ combo.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess that's the thing.
That's pretty much that's it.
Everybody's character that they skipped over to get to Glacius.
That's it. That's all you need to know.
All right then.
And TJ Combo is the only character they've announced for it, by the way.
TJ combo only.
He's the only one they've announced.
The
Well-
people that worked on Killer Instinct Season 1, Double Helix, the guys that also made the Strider reboot, they're no longer working on Killer Instinct. Instead, they have the people that worked on Dive Kick, Iron Galaxy Studios, and are working on Killer Instinct Season 2.
That's
So,
that's interesting.
That's the thing. That was announced like a long time ago.
Why did Double Helix just give up on it? Is Killer Instinct gonna die again? Is this gonna be a dead franchise again?
Then they'll get to be in
I
Dead Rising.
don't
so-
know if
Killed Instinct.
I don't know if they just gave up. They might just be pursuing something else.
Yeah. Well,
When you say they, who do you mean?
Double Helix.
I mean,
The
Oh,
team-
all right.
Double Helix.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, so
All right.
the only other thing that Microsoft really showed off was non-exclusive, but Rise of the Tomb Raider, which is an awful name for a game, by the way.
Is
Yeah.
it
Rise
New
of-
Tomb Raider?
Rise of anything is.
It's a sequel to last year's Tomb Raider reboot, and that game was really popular. I have it for the PS3. I should finally play it now that I got my PS3 back. It's basically Uncharted, but with Lara Croft, and I love Uncharted, so I want to try out Tomb Raider. I want to play Rise of the Tomb Raider. It looks cool. That's pretty much all I got to say.
I wanted to. There was one other game. I don't know if it was in Microsoft's conference, but it's an Xbox One exclusive that I wanted to talk about.
Yeah, go ahead.
By Platinum Games, Scalebound. Did you guys see?
Oh
the
yeah, it was
trailers
there.
for
That was definitely at the.
It's on my list.
Conference.
Tell me about
Oh,
it.
isn't that that's the Dragon game, right?
Yeah, I wanted to say I think it looks fucking dumb. It's I love Kamiya, I love Platinum Games, but I don't know. Just it's not jumping around and killing dragons that looks stupid. It's the fact that it's a guy in jeans and Beats by Dre headphones. I just think it looks silly. I don't know.
You just
You
said
say
Beats
it's
by
about
Dre, and now you have to
Killing
give
dragons, but I'm
$20
like,
to him.
Aren't people? Hasn't it been done to death? Skyrim is still kind of popular.
I wouldn't say
And that's
kind
all
of.
you do in Skyrim.
Yeah. Well,
I haven't seen the trailer for Scalebound. I should, because I respect Platinum Games a lot.
Yeah, I
But
do
what I've seen was a screenshot of the character. He looks kind of like Dante a little bit. And what's funny is he actually kind of looks like the DMC Dante at that, just with white hair.
I don't know, man. I think the game could still be fun, but I just think just watch the trailer and tell me it's not incredibly silly and just those. It doesn't. I don't know. The game world that they're trying to sell just doesn't mesh. It just looks silly to me. So that's pretty much all I wanted to say about Scalebound.
all right. Well, let's move on from Microsoft then. We got through that pretty quick. 20 minutes. I'm impressed.
Yay!
Next was EA, which we should get through even quicker. I just want to mention that Battlefield was at every conference ever. They really are pushing the new Battlefield game really hard, and I just don't care at all. So
I didn't know people who
Love
liked
is a
Battlefield still
battlefield.
cared about anything.
I mean, the new one is supposed to be like cops and robbers, so like I guess when you were
So it's Counter-Strike?
yeah, I guess when you were 3, this game would be cool. So
Oh, I mean, I heard about that, and that's whatever. I mean, I guess they got to do something to
Keep
So,
those
like-
coffers full.
yeah, they also showed off Mass Effect, which I'm sure will make lots and lots of money. But again, I've never played any of the Mass Effect games. I wish Phil was here to talk
I think
about
they
that.
also showed off like an Untitled project, BioWare project.
Yeah, they're working on something else as well.
It's like I think that looked kind of interesting, but it could be all style, no substance
Yeah.
at this point.
Did they show off any sports games?
Oh yes, NHL.
Really?
Hockey game.
That's it.
Yeah, well, I'm sure they showed off more than that, but that was the only one I can remember.
They didn't show off Madden? Or...
Nah,
I mean, not that they have to push Madden here,
Yeah.
but
they don't have to.
Or
They don't,
anywhere.
yeah,
I think they did.
they probably
They
did.
showed off a bunch of games that you're going to be able to find in a bargain bin somewhere in a few months. So
yeah.
Beyond that, they showed Mirror's Edge 2. I didn't play the first Mirror's Edge.
I didn't either, but nor did I watch the trailer for Mirror's Edge 2. But I heard people complaining that it looked like it didn't, like it strayed pretty far away from
That's what from what I've seen.
Mirror's
yeah.
Edge. Yeah, like Mirror's Edge was like a free running.
yeah,
The sort of parkour element of it was like the core of the gameplay, from what I understand, and I guess that it looks like more combat or more shooty or something. I didn't watch it, so in no way am I qualified to be saying words right now. But
I know my little brother played it and he really liked it, but that's pretty much all I know about it.
Yeah. Well, they announced the sequel. So, well, I mean, I guess they announced it a while ago. But,
Yeah.
it was
doing
at
a
last
sequel?
year's E3, I believe.
That they announced
Right?
it? I don't think they showed
Yeah.
it at last year's.
Well,
they
I
might have
think
announced
they,
it.
Yeah, I think they did.
Well, there's that.
Here's the thing about Mirror's Edge 2. I played Mirror's Edge 1, and it was good. And the interesting I want to say about Mirror's Edge is that it's made by the same people who made Battlefield. Nice. So,
Alright.
like, you have like a really innovative, creative,
Team.
sort of a not
Property.
necessarily team, but I'm talking about the game itself. Mirror's Edge, yeah, property. It's like it's kind of like a first-person platformer, kind of. I won't say kind of like Portal in a sense, and it was just like really interesting and unique, and like fans have been sort of like clamoring for a sequel for a long time, and like finally we're getting it. And from what I've seen, like of the trailer, I didn't really think too much of the combat or anything like that. I personally like, I forget if it's like Faith or Fate. I forget her
It's
name.
Faith. Her name's Faith.
The main character's name.
Faith. I think
Faith.
it's Faith.
Okay,
Yeah.
Faith. I like her new design in the sequel.
All right.
There we go then. Dawn confirmed for purchase.
Okay. Well, and then they also showed, this is the last thing we'll talk about for EA because we don't really have much to say about them. They showed off Star Wars Battlefront, which I believe is also being developed by DICE. I could be wrong.
Did they?
Yeah, they showed Battlefront.
DICE makes all the games.
They showed Battlefront. The only thing I remember really about Battlefront, it was a franchise a while ago. It was on the PS2, and I remember renting the first one and trying really hard to get into it because I really love Star Wars, and I just could not. So, I mean, maybe the new one will be cool. I mean, there's a lot of promise there with just a bunch of different Star Wars battles and characters and like just classes like stormtroopers and all that shit, and like could be cool on next gen hardware. But I just I couldn't get into the old ones, so who knows about the new one.
Yeah, I remember not being able to get into it either, but I know a lot of people who were. So
It had a cool trailer
Hey.
though. It was like on Hoth with like AT-ATs. It was cool. It was a cool trailer. But
Hoth
Man.
equals video game success. Is
Yeah,
pretty
that's
much
all
what
you
it comes
gotta
down
do,
to.
man. have the battle on Hoth.
Yeah,
well, it's the opening to the best Star Wars movie, so like
Right.
of course it would make for the best opening to a video game.
I mean, Shadows of the Empire
That's
added,
the
and it
one
was
that
great.
I think of.
Yeah.
So
that Atari 2600 game where all you do is shoot AT-ATs.
Yeah, all the hits.
Anyway, let's move on to Ubisoft, which we also don't have a lot to talk about. I'm super disappointed with Ubisoft, by the way.
ooh, you're not the only one, pal.
Did they have Aisha Tyler hosted?
They did.
They did.
Yeah, they did. They did.
Apparently she wasn't funny.
Phil's not
cool.
here to complain about her dropping all these swears and stuff, so I'm doing it for him.
All right.
You
Complain.
can't have like a host of like a corporate conference meeting dropping swears, man. You can't.
Only if your name's Reggie.
Yeah.
He's about
only
kicking
if
ass.
you're
In which case, it's only if you're talking about, the DS or beating a tournament player.
Like, what he
If
said
you use
was,
precision.
Yeah.
Well, go on, Kyle. What were you gonna say?
I was saying that, like, what Reggie said was hardly,
Yeah.
unprofessional. It was depending on the scenario. That what he said was fine.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I'm not trying to play devil's advocate by saying that Reggie swore. Why does he not? Blah blah blah. I was just saying that Aisha Tyler does not have the. She's not the
Gravitas.
cartoon character that Reggie is.
But she's almost literally a cartoon character on Archer.
Wow.
No, but you're right. Like, if it's actually like during the conference, during the presentation, they should be presenting themselves with an air of formality.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's not even that as much as it was funny when Reggie did it. If you do it constantly, it's it loses its charm
Yeah.
and it just
And
becomes
it's just
annoying.
fucking stupid.
Stop swearing, asshole.
Why the fuck you?
But yeah, I don't think that's why Matt is angry with Ubisoft.
No.
No.
Well, one of the
Yeah.
there's a big thing that's going around right now that a lot of people are angry at Ubisoft for, and we'll get to that in a minute because there's actually more to talk about with that. But I want to talk about the fact that they didn't announce fucking anything for the Wii U, and like Ubisoft
They were, like, the most
up to this
forward.
point were the third party that were actually supporting the Wii U. Like we had the Rayman Legends, we had
Zombie U.
the Assassin's Creed games were released on there, and like Zombie U, like Ricky just said, and Child of Light was brought over to the Wii U, and like they were actually supporting the Wii U, and
They were pretty much the only ones, like you said.
and Watch Dogs is coming out later this year, still for the Wii U, but by the time that comes out, nobody will care about Watch Dogs anymore. They already don't. So it's like they announced like Assassin's Creed and like Far Cry 4 and all these games. None of them come to the Wii U. The only one coming to the Wii U is Just Dance 2015. It's just like, I don't fucking care. What the hell, guys? What happened? Why did you stop?
Obviously, nobody bought Rayman Legends and Child of Light, so they're like, "All right, well, this isn't lucrative for us, and we care about the bottom line. So peace out."
Ugh,
I mean,
Your
I didn't
fault,
think
Matt. You
Child
didn't
of
buy
Light
it.
looked good.
you're right, I didn't. Child of Light looks awesome. Shut up.
yeah, what's wrong with you people?
Yeah. Just shut your whore mouth. I'm just kidding.
All right.
No
then.
swearing, Don. This is professional.
Yeah, we have an air of professionality.
Yeah, we're not Aisha Tyler.
No, that bugs me too, Matt. I'm with you.
I'm just disappointed. That's all there is to it. Like, it's just once again Nintendo is the only one back in their own console. At least they got indies on their side, so that's cool.
Yeah.
But anyway, the other big controversy with
Hold on. Oh, wait, Matt.
No, go ahead.
No.
Go ahead.
I wanted to add on to your no Wii U games thing. Supposedly, I read this on Polygon. Ubisoft is actually sitting on another finished Wii U game.
I heard about this.
That isn't Watch Dogs or Just Dance. They're just waiting for like the install base.
Yeah, they're waiting for the
So
success.
they have
for
a
more
fully
success.
done game.
And they haven't even revealed what it is.
No. But they're waiting for
scumbags.
They're waiting for
Jeez.
Wii U to do better before they release it.
Maybe if you release it, it will do better. Ah!
Ubisoft's got the system seller in their hands, and they just
I'm just saying, you can't play hot potato with that stuff. I mean, who knows what's going to be a system seller? You know, I mean, obviously Mario Kart 8 put a lot of butts in the seats, especially in Europe where they summoned Satan. But in Europe, after Mario Kart 8 came out, sales of the Wii U increased by 666%.
Oh, right.
But I'm just come on, guys, don't be scumbags.
yeah, they were. Yeah,
That is I had not heard that, Don, and that is a dick move.
calm down, Kyle.
No, never.
Apparently, that's
Make me
hilarious.
do that.
It is hilarious. It's just one of those funny coincidences that of all the
First
percent
I heard about it, and
increases.
your delivery was just
No, it's great.
Thank you, Kyle. But yeah, that's so scummy.
Yeah.
Ubisoft.
Speaking of scummy and Ubisoft, the other thing they did was they have Far Cry 4 and Assassin's Creed Unity are their two big games that are coming out later this year, and they are multiplayer games. And a lot of people have made an uproar about the fact that there are no female characters you can play as in those games. And Ubisoft went on to say that something about the lines of it's hard to make female characters in video games or something like that.
They basically gave the excuse. Yeah. Oh, you're laughing, but this is really happened, Kyle. This is a real story.
Stupid.
They basically gave the excuse. Oh, I mean, it would double our production costs to model and rig and animate a female.
Gotta make all them titties. We can't do that.
Yeah.
That's hard work.
They-
Physics.
Did someone already have this problem before?
Yeah, it was Disney.
Yeah, Disney.
Like, this is really familiar.
Yeah, Disney has almost had the same exact
Wow.
problem with Frozen.
With
It's
the same
it's-
exact backlash.
it's pathetic, and like Ubisoft has got so much shit for it. We're not bringing this to you thinking that we're like breaking the story and like being the first ones to give them crap for this. I literally the tweets and the tumbles have been pouring in about what stupid idiots they are. That's a PR nightmare. When you have a guy say something like that representing your company, that is a PR nightmare.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw.
It's not quite as bad as Xbox last year with the guy saying, "Hey, then maybe you shouldn't buy an Xbox One." That was the worst.
And where's that guy now? No job.
He works
working at
at
Ubisoft.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I believe you're talking about Don Matrick, man. He was like head of the Xbox division or whatever until he stepped down to work at Zynga or whatever. I think.
Quote unquote.
I was
Step
right.
down.
Zynga!
Well,
Zynga!
he's making frozen yogurt.
He got his ass fired.
My favorite Tumblr post that I saw of it was like they took like the quote and it was like word for word like on different gifs of strong female characters from video games. So
Yeah.
that was fun.
That's pretty great.
Was Samus one of them?
I don't think she was. She should have been, but she wasn't.
It just that guy's an idiot. Both of those people who said that. It happened with two different dev teams making two different games, and they're both morons. So, whatever.
Idiots
That's
can.
good. I'm looking at my list of games from Microsoft and Sony, and while they don't have the PR nightmare because no one outright said it, like I don't see a lot of strong female characters from their exclusive lineup.
It's kind of. I mean, we'll get to this a little later, but it's kind of hilarious how much Nintendo dunked on them by having like Zelda, Midna, and Impa playable in Hyrule Warriors. They
Some
revealed
new girl.
Palutena for Smash Brothers. The Splatoon has all these cute squid girls in it. Like Nintendo was just
Bayonetta.
like, yeah, Bayonetta. I mean, like they just straight up curb stomped them in terms of like playable females. It's
Ouch.
hilarious to me. But we'll get to that later. So.
Yeah. Let's move on from controversy and let's go on to Sony.
Matt, I want you to read aloud the first note you've made about Sony.
Sony, boring ass conference.
Not untrue.
Sony's conference sucked. A lot of people out there think it wasn't so bad. A lot of people think they had the second best one behind Nintendo. A lot of people think they had the best one. I think their conference was garbage.
Yeah.
I really like Sony. I really do. I've liked them for a long time, and when I purchased the PS3, it became my favorite console of the last generation because of all the great original IPs and like services they offer. It's a really great console, and I really like Sony a lot as a company. But they just gave me nothing at this E3. They gave me nothing.
The thing. That's the thing, man. I'm way more interested in a PS4 than I am in an Xbox One, but I thought their conference was absolutely the worst.
Yeah, it was bad. First of all, they started with Destiny, which has been at E3 for like 3 years in a row, and the more they show it, the less interested I become in it.
Oh no!
Like, just Destiny, just non-stop. Like, I get it. Bungie is making another game, and it's going to be on the Sony consoles too. Whoop-de-fucking-do. Like, Peter Dinklage is in it. That's cool. But otherwise,
I don't even know who that is.
He's the tiny actor who's in Game of Thrones.
Yeah, he's Tyrion in Game of Thrones.
Oh.
Who's also in the new X-Men movie. But yeah, I just don't care about Destiny, and they keep shoving it down my throat. So I guess they really want me to care about Destiny. It's not working though.
That's your destiny to care.
It's my destiny to care about Destiny.
Please understand.
Victory
You need to care.
is my destiny. No, I just don't care. But after
Would you care if they had a child?
Of light?
No.
Josh just completely missed the joke.
Yeah, I don't get it.
Destiny's Child, Beyonce, Destiny's Child.
Oh, right.
It was a bad joke, and
I apologize.
and you made it funny. So
Moving on.
You're welcome.
Moving on. We're gonna talk about more games.
Yeah. After Destiny, they moved on to one of the only like exclusives that they showed off, which was an artsy fartsy indie game called Entwined, which is available right now.
Oh.
I wish someone would make a game called Artsy Fartsy Indie Game.
I'm gonna be the one. I'm gonna be the one to do it. No,
Do it.
It's like you play as these two birds, and like you're just dancing around like a screen, and like you get to the end of like a tunnel or something, and then you merge and form a dragon. A dragon. It's
And what?
And then you find out she's gay.
Yes.
What?
No.
His sister's gay.
Wow.
Oh, because
Because Gone Home.
yeah, I got you.
It's
Throwing together all the artsy fartsy indie games.
It's an interesting looking game, and I love indie games. I love artsy fartsy indie games, so I would love to play it, but it's on PS4 and not PS3, so I will not be able to play it.
That game looks like Rez. It should come with a vibrator.
It does look a lot like Rez, except not starring a polygonal like red dude.
Unfortunately.
Res dude.
They showed some DLC for Infamous Second Son, which you can play without the game, but you do need a PS4 to play it. So again, I can't play it. Which I mean,
You're just striking out all over the place.
To their credit, Infamous is actually an IP I care about. So
Is Cole in the game?
no.
I don't care.
After that, they actually did show off a game I care about, which is Little Big Planet 3, which threw everybody off because Media Molecule said they weren't going to be there, and then they were, and they showed off Little Big Planet 3.
Liars.
And it was cool. Their demo of it was awful, though. They played like us. It was basically like watching us on stage.
Which we can put an annotation in the video right here. Cross promotion.
They introduced three new playable like Sackboy characters. There was like a dog like thing which can run really fast and can double jump. A fat guy which is really powerful and can like burst through walls and can like shrink.
Yeah.
Can like shrink
Fat guys.
shrink in size. Everybody we were watching the conference with like really hated the fat thing for some reason. I don't understand. Like we were watching with some of the shiny dittos and they just did not like the fat guy.
They're like, ooh, fat.
I don't know.
That makes me sad.
They didn't like him. I don't understand. I thought he was cool. He looked like Grimace from the
Yeah, that's what I said.
yeah. Me and Don were like the only ones who weren't like complaining about him. That's weird.
Yeah.
And then there's a bird, which can fly.
Hooray.
Birds are cool. So I like Little Big Planet a lot. So I look forward to Little Big Planet 3. It's not gonna get me to buy their console, but it'll be one that I get when I do buy their console.
Something cool that I heard about like Little Big Planet 3 is that it'll be backwards compatible with all the levels from Little Big Planet 1 and 2.
Yes,
Pretty crazy. That's cool.
They said at the conference there's over 9 million stages that people have made. those games.
9 million.
So right out the gate, Little Big Planet 3 will have over 9 million stages you can play. So
What? 9 million?
it's like
There's no way that can't be right.
it's like
That's definitely Little Big Planet 3. I don't even have a PS3. Okay, I need to get that before I get a PS4. But Little Big Planet 3 is definitely the first game for PS4 they've announced that like I'm interested in. So
it looks good. It looks good.
Yeah.
After that, they showed off Bloodborne. I don't know anything about this game. Don, talk about Bloodborne.
Like a pet.
Okay.
Gross?
Bloodborne is made by From Software, the people that made Demon Souls, Dark Souls, and not necessarily Dark Souls 2, I want to say. Supposedly Dark Souls 2 was made by a B team at From Software.
It just means the Benchwarmer team.
Yeah.
Make this. We're gonna go over here.
Yeah, this is. I'd imagine this is the sort of spiritual sequel to both of the Soul series, the Soul series in general.
I'm a
and
soul man.
And a lot of people like those games, so that should be exciting for people who like the Souls games.
that'll put butts in the seats.
Mm-hmm.
Just that it's by From Software or from by Software.
Whoa.
Whoa.
I'm so confused.
I think their studio's name is quite stupid.
It is stupid. From Software, like that's just confusing. Like, who made the game? Oh, From Software. Oh, okay.
I was just but I don't know anything about that game, so
Yeah,
sorry.
I don't really know anything about it either.
I only caught the last like half of Sony's conference, but I still caught a lot of it.
Yeah. Half of it is like 3.5 hours. So.
It was.
Then they showed off the Order 1886, which I believe was at last year's conference. It's like a first-person shooter that like takes place in 1986, obviously, or 1886. Sorry. And
The 80s.
for whatever reason, they were using walkie-talkies, and that's wrong. That's wrong. Walkie-talkies didn't exist in 1886.
How do you know the government could have had
Shut up, Josh.
some secret technology?
Shut up, Josh. Shut up, Josh. I don't really care about that one, so.
Yeah, I don't even know.
They also announced that they're making a remake of Grim Fandango, and that's awesome because I've always wanted to play that game.
Yeah.
I still don't know.
I
what
fucking
it is.
lost my shit when I heard that.
People were
Like
really
seeing
excited
Tim
about that
Schafer.
Yeah.
What a jokester that guy is. But I'm so glad Grim Fandango's getting a remake because that game is quite unplayable on modern systems. You have to like do some crazy workarounds to get Grim Fandango to run on Windows 7 plus like 7 and 8. 7 and 0. But essentially it needs it. Like it's Grim Fandango needs to be played by future generations.
It's a cult classic.
It's a great game.
It's considered one of the greatest like adventure games of all time, and it costs so much money to buy it now. Plus, Don says that it's hard to play on modern consoles, so it's like, it needs it. I think it's great that they're remaking it. So, Disney actually owns the rights to Grim Fandango, I believe, now that they own LucasArts, and they said that they were working with Disney on it, so that's cool.
Oh, that's very cool.
It's kind of interesting.
I didn't think about that, but that is true facts.
Yeah. And then after that on my list, I actually have Disney Infinity 2.0, or DinZ Infinity, as I wrote it on this list.
Dinzy, you know.
Yeah,
Your favorite.
I'm not going to talk too long about this one.
that's the scale that determines how much you like Disney versus DreamWorks.
Wow. I'm really excited for this game. I really liked the first one, and I really like Marvel characters, and that you can ride in the Ratcatcher from Darkwing Duck in it, and that's awesome. So that's really all I have to say about it.
So, Matt, how could you say that Sony's conference was boring?
Because it fucking was.
Can I ask you something about Disney Infinity 2.0? Like, I haven't been really paying attention aside from like the Marvel characters, but like, is it like a separate standalone title, or is it like an upgrade to the Disney Infinity existing product?
It's a separate title because like they're making it bigger, and there's like you can go like interiors and stuff now. But from what I understand, the figures themselves will not be backwards compatible with the old game. Obviously
Oh my god!
the
What a money grab.
old figures will work with the new game, but the new figures won't work with the old one.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good.
But I guess they're going to be releasing like DLC from that game for Disney Infinity 1. So like buildings and stuff will be released in Disney Infinity 1. So that's from what I
Well,
know.
at least they're not completely abandoning it.
Yeah. Yep. Yep. Anyway, moving on from that, so I don't bore everybody. Let It Die. They showed that. That was fun.
The life never bothered me anyway.
Let It Die is by Suda51, and it was super fucking gory.
I don't like that.
51?
What was that?
Suda 51?
Yeah, Suda51. It's a new game by them, and it was just like a bunch of dudes just getting dismembered and cut in half. And
I'm saying like that it was super gory sounds like a Suda 51.
oh yeah, it was all style, no substance. I expected to get 5 out of 10s when it comes out.
I expected to get no sales when it comes out. Video games, right?
Yep.
Mhm.
Then David, are you
That's
here?
what the host said.
David. David?
David!
Where the hell did David go? Where'd everybody go? Am I the only one talking?
I'm right here.
I'm here, I'm just eating dinner.
David, get over here.
Yeah, get over here! David, come on, man.
Maria! Get over here.
Nice segue.
Well, I guess we'll not talk about that one since David's not here. Yeah, okay, let's talk about this. This isn't the next thing on the list, but let's talk about one of my biggest problems with Sony's press conference, and that was the fact that every fucking game they showed off was a port.
Yeah, they showed a ton of ports.
Like,
port.
Like they're bringing The Last of Us and Grand Theft Auto 5 to PlayStation 4, and those were two of the biggest games of last year, and like that's, it's good for them, I guess, but they literally just came out last year.
Last year, yeah, they were two of the biggest games of last year.
It's not like Grim Fandango where it was like 15 years ago, so it's like a big deal that we're getting a remake. It was last year. People have already played that game. They're not going to buy your fucking game again for the PlayStation 4. Like, I don't understand why you think that. Like, The Last of Us is one of the best games ever made. I think it's one of the most important games of last generation, but it's like, it was last generation. Ugh. I'm just so disappointed in Sony. Like,
It's the best game I never played.
yeah, it was I was disappointed in it.
I saw it coming for both GTA 5 and The Last of Us.
I'm sure most people did.
It's just they're in that bridge period where like they can do that. They can like take whatever they have and like, hey, this is what we got in HD.
Right, but they need original content to get people to actually want to buy their console. I know people have been buying it, but like most people are complaining about the fact that there's no games on these two consoles, and this isn't helping. I don't think. Like, yeah, you're releasing games, but they're games we've already played.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that helps them.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's why Naughty Dog is also working on another game.
Yep, they did announce that Naughty Dog's working on a game, but we don't know what that game is.
Is it Pizza Beer?
Jack and Dexter 5, y'all.
No, it's not. No, it's none of those.
Yeah.
It's uncarded.
It's uncarded.
Uncarded.
Uncarded. That'd be hilarious.
They also showed off Batman Arkham Knight, which again is not an exclusive,
yeah.
but it was probably the best thing they showed.
I was gonna say, I think Arkham Knight looks great. I didn't play Arkham Origins.
Well, you don't need to. That one's not by Rocksteady. This one is.
Yeah, that's why I didn't play it. But Arkham Knight looks so good. I think the only thing that like I enjoyed Arkham City so much, but the one like big thing that was missing was the Batmobile. And like you could drive the Batmobile in this one. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Ah!
Turn into a fucking tank.
Yeah.
Yeah. The funny thing is, someone went. We were watching the conference with, again, some of the shiny dittos. Some of them, one of them said, "Oh, good, the Batmobile doesn't control like a tank." And then right after he said it, it turned into a fucking tank. And I was just laughing.
Yeah, well, it doesn't.
remember that.
It doesn't control like a tank, like
Right, it doesn't.
originally.
I just thought that was funny. It's a cool story,
Yeah.
bro.
I think that game looks really cool. I'm really excited for it. So, But
Yeah.
again, I don't own either of the consoles that it's come for.
Yeah, I own the Wii U.
It's probably not
Oh
coming for
well.
that, even though
I know.
Origins and City did. So we'll see. But they haven't announced it yet.
Yeah.
Don, do you want to talk about
What
the?
indies did they talk about?
Do you want to talk about
About
the
the
PlayStation
PlayStation TV?
Yeah.
I think it could be cool. I kind of wanted a PlayStation or PS Vita TV to like play Persona 4 Golden. But it doesn't seem like you could play something like Tearaway that like uses the touch functionality and shit.
Oh.
So not all games are compatible with PlayStation TV. So that's a little butt. Might as well get a Vita.
No.
If you want to play something like Tearaway, yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's your only choice to play Tearaway is to get a Vita, but
Yeah.
don't get a Vita. Get a 3DS.
But I want to play Tearaway. I'm
Get
not
two of 'em.
I'm not gonna get a Vita.
Get 2 3DSs.
Not until they release it.
Nintendo needs
Not until they
support,
release a
guys.
Kingdom Hearts game for it. Will I get it?
Yeah.
Which
Fucking
Kingdom Hearts wasn't even at the show. That was fun.
No.
Yeah.
Didn't they show off some 2.5 HD?
Yeah, barely.
Yeah. That's something.
Square
like
Enix.
More ports.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh shit! I have the hiccups. Sorry.
Ah!
I feel like you could play 2.5 on the show floor because somebody, I don't know if it was Game Explain or Pro Jared or somebody had footage of it. But it's like, well, I understand. Like, it's probably taking a long time. It's probably going to be a huge game. But I'm so excited for Kingdom Hearts 3, you guys. Like, where's Kingdom Hearts 3?
Yeah.
Well, Square said they're not showing it, so fuck them.
Square's too busy making mobile games.
Making shitty Lightning Returns.
That's already been made.
I know that's out already. I'm just saying, like, you should have. The game sucks.
Okay.
Should have been working on Kingdom Hearts 3 instead of that.
All right. Well, before we got into Kingdom Hearts and complained about that, Josh was asking what indies they showed off, and they showed off a few.
Yeah.
They showed off like Broforce, which is non-exclusive, and they showed off a few other indies. But the one I'm most excited about is No Man's Sky. That game looks fucking rad. That is it's hard to explain. It is a game where like you're a pilot of like a spaceship basically, and you go to different planets made by other. I guess they're not made by other users, but they belong to other users who have the game, and they're randomly generated. So every planet is unique, and like
Nice.
you just explore.
So it's Minecraft.
Right.
Yeah.
Sort of. It just looks nicer, and you you explore.
That's a
You can explore their
high
planets. You can like take pictures of like the wildlife, and it just looks really cool. Like there's not a whole lot known about it, but just the trailer they showed off got me really excited for it. It's kind of an artsy fartsy indie game.
Of course. I'll have to check that one out, though. It sounds fun.
Yeah, watch the trailer that they showed at E3. It's really neato.
Yeah, I'll have to check that
Is
out.
that the one that had like pink grass or whatever?
Yes.
Yeah. Matt, you don't want to say anything about Abzu, the game with the Journey art director?
Yeah, the art director from Journey. That one seems cool. I'd play it. I don't have a lot to say about it. I'm realizing that I didn't put Metal Gear Solid 5 on this list.
Oh, how dare you?
Yeah, how dare you?
Don, talk about
We'll
it.
talk about that next.
All right, I will talk about it. Metal Gear Solid 5. I saw that. Actually, even the Sony conference knew that.
Yeah.
Like they leaked the trailer before the Sony conference. They
The night
they acknowledged it, and I watched that trailer then when it was leaked, and I was pretty. I want to say blown away, but I was like, also, man, some of the stuff in this shit is kind of fucked up. Like
Yeah,
he's like
it's
smearing ashes all over his face.
Yeah.
It's kind of a dark trailer. That shot of him like bleeding and like there's like steam coming off of him because he's screaming.
Yeah.
Kind of creepy, but go ahead.
I want to say there's a lot of things. Obviously, Kojima's like trying to sort of hint at with that thing you were talking about, where he's like covered in blood and stuff like that, and he has that like piece of shrapnel stuck in his forehead, and it looks sort of like a horn. It's meant to have that like sort of demon oni imagery, but at the end of it too, he is like with I forget his name, Skullface, I think. But he's with the bad guy, and like you're just like whoa. And then there's also like sort of like a Metal Gear that looks like Rex. They're doing something
From Toy Story?
No,
Metal Gear Rex.
Metal Gear Rex.
Oh, okay.
There's a lot of hints at stuff, obviously, but like none of the shit makes sense.
Well, my problem with the trailer was like again, like with like Crackdown. There's no gameplay footage in it. Like, I don't care.
I'm pretty sure it was done real time.
I'm saying it might have been in engine, but it was all cutscenes.
Yeah,
There's
they
no-
did release like screenshots of like gameplay and stuff like that on their website, I believe, and it looks, cool.
I don't know. That just it bugs me when unless it's like a game where they don't like have like it's so early in development that it doesn't have like gameplay footage to show off yet. Like then we'll get to it later. But like the new Zelda,
This is
know,
also Kojima you're talking about here.
that's
He
true.
makes
I know Metal Gear.
video games.
I know Metal Gear Solid games are like movies already. I know that, but I don't know.
Yeah.
From like what I played of Ground Zeroes, I'm sure it's gonna be very gamey. Like, it's probably the most game that Metal Gear Solid has ever been.
Some meaty gameness to it.
Yeah,
All right, that's good.
I'm excited for Pain. I want to know what the fuck's what. There's a lot of like fan theorizing. At one point, like the little kid, he like the one that it seems like he stabs or whatever. The kid that has like holding up the chair or something like that. I think in the trailer. If you read the back of his shirt, there's some English that's just like whatever. But like there's some Japanese. Supposedly that translated to liquid man, which is liquid snake.
Right.
So
Yeah.
maybe I don't know if that's actually confirmed what it actually said, but that's what I read somewhere.
I like that they kind of confirmed that they that people saw the trailer early.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
that was fun. Also, where the hell were you?
Just typed it in the thing.
Yeah. He was trying not to say it so that it didn't look professional. You fucking piece of shit. Aisha Tyler up in here. Jesus.
Mhm.
All right.
All right.
Get over.
I'm just kidding. Anyway, let's talk about Mortal Kombat since we skipped it earlier for your ass. Talk about Mortal
My
Kombat,
bad.
Jesus.
I mean, I didn't really have too much to say to it. I know that Mortal Kombat 9 came out, a few years ago, and it was kind of universally liked. Everybody was really excited about it, and I know that Mortal Kombat kind of sucked for a few years ever since it went 3D, and I'm just kind of glad to see it return to form. And the new footage was pretty cool. I liked the new characters. They looked really neat. That bug lady was really cool.
I did like the bug lady, but I did not like. Not to interrupt you.
Tara
but
Strong.
I really wanted to get this out of here. God bless Tara Strong, but why is she doing Timmy Turner's voice for the bug lady? Like it's the
No,
same.
it wasn't the bug lady. It was a little tiny person that was on the big. It was like that Bioshock looking character where it's the giant guy with the little tiny person on his shoulders.
Well, wherever that voice was coming from, Tim Turner's voice don't belong in Mortal Kombat. Okay, that trailer was like. I mean, I know it's Mortal Kombat, and they're trying to constantly trying to be like, look how violent we can be.
Right.
But I mean, that trailer was like super gruesome. We got like spines being ripped out, and it's Mortal Kombat, and like then you hear fucking Timmy Turner.
And you hear Vicky, you're so sicky.
It's just I don't know. It's just that bugged me. But continue.
Yeah. But I was reading just a little while ago about it, and it's like it sounds like some fan fiction shit. It takes place 25 years in the future, and one of the characters is going to be the daughter of Johnny Cage and Sonya Blade. And it's like, all right, come on. Hopefully, it ends up being pretty good, but I don't know. I'm going to try to keep expectations low because
I mean,
I've
nobody
been burned
plays
before by Mortal Kombat.
nobody plays Mortal Kombat for the story. I mean,
I know
Actually-
Mortal Kombat. I like the Mortal Kombat story. So
I know that
I'm
like
a
since
sucker.
it went 3D, there's been more of a story to it. They have like story modes, especially in 9.
Yeah.
I get that, but it's like if the game is not fun, then who cares? I mean, it's you're there for the combat, the Mortal Kombat.
As long as the mechanics are good,
Yeah. I actually really liked. I didn't play Mortal Kombat 9, but I wouldn't be opposed to checking it out. I actually really liked Mortal Kombat versus DC, even though it was like
Really bad.
it was dumbed. It wasn't. It was dumbed down and for a T rating,
Yeah.
But
the mechanics were still kind of there.
I thought it was fun. I thought I had fun with it. So
Yeah.
and NetherRealm does good stuff. So
They do. Yeah, I mean, the best thing that they've done is become NetherRealm because all their stuff has been pretty good since then. So, yeah, I just hope we see some more cool returning characters.
I'm sure most of them will return.
yeah, it's just like Mortal Kombat's never been like a franchise for me anyway, where like there's like a bunch of cool characters in it. Like they got nothing on Street Fighter in terms of characters.
I don't know. I mean, I like Scorpion, I like Sub-Zero, I like the robots.
I like-
there's
I
a lot
like-
of cool designs in it.
I like Scorpion and Jax and Baraka a lot, but in terms of like number of awesome characters, I just don't think they can hold a candle to Street Fighter.
That's
Yeah, like if you ask us to name a whole bunch of Mortal Kombat characters, I could name Scorpion and Sub-Zero, and I'm
Well,
sure
Liu
Mortal
Kang.
Kombat can do more, but I can name more Street Fighter ones, despite the fact that I've played about as much Street Fighter as I have Mortal Kombat.
I haven't played any Street Fighter, but I can probably name a bunch of Street Fighter characters just from osmosis.
They have that star power. They're
Yeah.
so cartoony.
No, you're absolutely right there.
Yeah.
And, I mean, I played a lot of Marvel vs. Capcom too, so I guess
Yeah,
I learned a lot
exactly.
there. But yeah, I'm willing to check it out. I hope it's good.
Okay. I
Yeah.
don't particularly care about Mortal Kombat, so I mean that's.
Well, I appreciate you waiting for me.
Yeah, no, I wanted.
No problem.
We wanted you to talk about something before we get to Nintendo. So there's only two things left I really want to talk about for Sony. First is Ratchet and Clank, the movie.
What does that have to do with the video game?
Wait. Did we talk about Powers?
No. Do you want to talk about Powers? Do you really
Yeah.
want to talk about
Oh.
Powers? Okay, talk about Powers. Go ahead.
Kingpin showed off powers.
Oh, yeah. God damn it.
That was the one thing Don wanted to say. That was the only reason he wanted to talk about powers.
You took it from me. How dare you?
Water Powers.
Powers is Powers is like a TV show that's coming out exclusively to PlayStation consoles, like an actual TV show.
And in
Okay,
addition,
you don't have to go any farther. I really don't care.
Yeah, nobody
Yeah.
did. That was the problem.
It shouldn't have been in the conference. Is the thing.
They didn't have any footage.
it was just Universal. Oh, okay.
No, they literally they brought out this guy who looked like Kingpin. Okay, he was kind of poorly
He's
involved.
already been cast in the new Daredevil movie.
He had a pinstripe, and he came and was like, I'm serious. I'm not exaggerating." He goes, "Take a look at some of the concept art."
Here's some pictures I drew backstage.
It was the worst, most boring thing I've ever seen at E3. Literally, like,
It was
what was
incredibly
that doing in
boring.
the conference, guys?
Ugh.
It took me like a long time to realize what he was actually talking about.
To realize that he wasn't just fucking with
He
you.
talked
Yeah.
about it for so long too. It was at least 10
We're
minutes.
talking about
It felt
longer
like
than we
3
should.
days he talked about Powers.
At least 10 minutes. That was part of the.
And I had no idea what it was until like the very
I
end.
still don't. I kind of do, but I just don't care.
It was part of the problem with their conference, man. It was too long, and they talked about too much shit nobody cared about. Like, I understand that it can't be all games all the time, but you had to know. They had
But
to
it
have.
can be all interesting.
Yeah, they had to have known nobody was going to care about this show that doesn't even have footage yet.
They didn't even have. They had concept art, and you don't bring a guy onto a stage to say, "Look at some concept art, guys."
They just, you know what happened is they were like, this dude looks just like Kingpin. Might.
What happened was Sony was like, "Oh shit, Microsoft's got their own fucking Halo TV show on Xbox One. We gotta top them. Let's give them powers."
If only we had the power to. Wait a minute.
Okay. Let's move on.
Kyle, we've spent entirely too much time talking.
Just like Sony!
As much time as they.
Well, the next thing, they announced a remake of Vib Ribbon.
No, they didn't.
No, they didn't.
Why was Vib Ribbon?
They
Rick,
brought it up like 10 times.
Ricky and
didn't
Phil
they?
got so hyped and then so let down,
They-
like, immediately.
This dude came out on stage. There's Vib Ribbon behind him. Vib Ribbon is an incredibly obscure Nana Onsha game. The people who made Parappa and Umjammer Lammy. And, like, me and Phil were watching the conference, we're like, Vib Ribbon! And, like, this pissed me off, too, because everybody else was like, what the hell is Vib Ribbon? And I was like, thanks for watching Phil's videos, guys. Like,
And then Conker came out.
I felt so bad for Phil, like, that nobody had even watched his review of Vib Ribbon. But anyway, whoever was on stage was like, when I think of Vib Ribbon, I think of the next speaker who's about to come out. Some dude you've never heard of who had nothing to do with the production of Vib Ribbon. Like, Vib Ribbon never even came out in the USA, okay? Like, what nostalgia, like, base were they trying to... Why was that in the conference?
They didn't even announce a new Vib Ribbon game or a game by that company. Like, nothing. Like, nothing. It had nothing to do with anything. It was so...
They were just like, this is neat.
Yeah, this is a game you've never heard of.
The guy just like really likes Vib Ribbon, as far as I know. Like,
Okay.
he just really likes it.
I really like Little Debbie's, but I'm not going to go out on stage at E3 and tell everybody about it.
That's precisely what I'm going to do.
The Conker thing was a dick punch, but the Vib Ribbon thing was pretty close in terms of just how mad it made me. Because there was no reason for it. But anyway.
Yeah, let's talk about Ratchet and Clank the movie and the supposed remake of the first Ratchet and Clank.
Do we have to?
I think it's cool
You know-
that they're making a movie. It didn't look all that great, but I mean,
Cool. What's it doing in the conference?
it's
Yeah, it's not a game.
well, it's one of their.
It's based on it.
It's based
Yeah,
on the.
but it's not a game.
Yeah, but it's based on their property. At least they were showing off their property and not just Batman and Mortal
Yeah,
Kombat.
That's true.
Powers.
Although, don't you kind of wish they were?
I don't know. I look forward to it. I just it didn't look all that great in the trailer. So.
Yeah, I don't know. Ratchet and Clank is one of those franchises that like I never got super into. I played the first one for like 10 minutes and I was like, this is fun. And I just never...
But apparently not.
Yeah,
It's
it
cool
was...
they got Titus in there.
Well, that's the voice actor.
That's the voice of
Yeah,
Ratchet.
James Arnold
I
Taylor
know.
plays Ratchet, so...
It's funny.
That's his only voice, too.
He's Ratchet.
It's probably because it's his voice.
It's
Yeah.
pretty close to his normal voice, yeah.
I like the Ratchet and Clank series. Like, I enjoyed the ones on the PS2. Man, it's so weird saying that
Yeah.
because we're now at PS4.
That's two
but-
PSs ago.
Yeah, exactly.
We're
Um,
double the PS.
I have,
We're
Like-
PPPS.
I think I have a couple of the games on PS3, but I've actually never, like, barely even touched either of them.
Plastic is still on them.
The
Probably.
plastic is still on one of them. I will tell you that.
I want you to tweet it right now.
Oh, no.
But I don't know. Maybe it's because I grew up and it was still targeting kids or something. I don't know. I don't know. I didn't really play the PS3 ones, even though I own them.
Sure, I get you.
I mean, that was... I don't know. Those games were just a little outside my scope when I was younger. I played the first Jack and Daxter, and that's pretty much the closest I got.
Did you play Sly Cooper? Those were good.
I didn't play those either.
They're also getting a movie that they didn't show.
Yeah.
Why not? They had plenty of
Right?
time to do it.
No, they didn't. Anyway, Sony ended the conference with literally the one thing I wanted to see at their conference, and it was all of 20 seconds long. It was...
Glass Guardian?
And it was no gameplay footage.
Yep.
Oh.
It was... Oh, rest in peace, Last Guardian. Officially
Oh.
dead this time. Anyway, it was Uncharted 4, A Thief's End, and I'm just gonna say it right now, I'm gonna be upset if Sully dies in that game. Gonna be upset.
Yeah. Poor Sully.
Gonna be upset.
If he's dead.
But they literally all it was like it was just Nathan Drake waking up, walking through like a jungle, some dialogue over it between him and Sully, and then it's like coming eventually.
Yeah. It looked beautiful, I will say. Like, you could see the friggin' pores on his face. But, again, like, show me gameplay.
The Uncharted games, they use the cutscenes to disguise the load times, because
Yeah.
there are no load times. The game literally, like, it loads when you turn it on, and then after that, if you just play it straight through, like, it doesn't ever stop to load. Except when a cutscene is going, I assume they take that time to render the rest of the where you're going next. So that's something I really like about the Uncharted games. And usually the cutscenes are in-game like graphics. Like I don't know that this will. Yeah, I don't know that this will be. Like this could just be a promotional thing. I don't know. But
well, even if it is in engine, like that's great. It looks beautiful, but
yeah, no gameplay.
It still ain't gameplay, yo.
Yeah.
That's I don't know. I know I'm a broken record with that, but
That ain't Falco. I mean gameplay.
Yeah. So no, go ahead.
I just wanted to say I've never played an Uncharted game, so like the game looks cool, but I'm not who they're shooting for. I got to play the first 3 first.
I love the Uncharted games. I think you absolutely should play them. And I'm really excited. I'm really excited for the 4th one. And I don't know when it's coming out, but it might be the game that gets me to buy the PS4. That and Kingdom Hearts.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Which was not there, as we already mentioned.
Yeah, if both of those come out around the same time, I'm definitely getting a PS4.
And Powers.
Yes.
And Powers, yes.
Only if Kingpin is in it.
Kingpin didn't have any powers.
Those boards don't work on water.
To touch up on what
Unless
you
you've got power.
Okay. It's like, what does that have to do with anything?
I got it.
All right.
What, Don?
That's good.
To touch up on what you were trying to say about Sully, like I definitely feel like the way that the trailer was structured, it seems like it's leading up to that.
Yeah, that's what I
Maybe,
Well, yeah,
that's
and
what I
like,
think too.
maybe he's already dead and he's just hearing him speak to him. Because he's half unconscious.
at the end of the trailer, they show like a dead body in in those cages that are just in the jungle for some reason.
Death confirmed.
And that's what, yes, that's what they were trying to. I think that's what they were trying to put.
Yeah, I see what Josh is saying. Like, I don't think you're speculating that body is.
No,
but they're trying to. They end the trailer on like the idea of death, and the game is called A Thief's End. So
Right.
somebody gonna die.
Yeah, it's probably
A thief.
What is this,
It's-
Nathan Drake?
It's not going to be Nathan Drake. It's probably going to be Sully,
Yeah.
and I'm going to be really upset because he's my favorite character. But whatever, I guess. Guess we'll find out in a million years. Who knows?
Get ready to cry.
Yep, get ready for tears. Rest in peace, Cole.
Boo.
Anyway, we're about to get into this.
Oh wait, what? Cole?
Yeah, Cole
Spoilers.
McGrath.
Spoilers.
Spoiler, you just ruined that game for Don.
Oh, that's right.
Spoilers.
That's right.
Anyway, we're about to get into the big one, but I really have to pee, so let's take a break real quick.
Woo,
No.
good time to pause the video.
It was good that I dropped while you were in the bathroom.
All right.
You both dropped.
I did not. You're an awful person.
Ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba.
Anyway, let's
Poop joke.
Let's get to what everybody
Sorry.
waited this whole hour and 12 minutes that we've been talking for. Let's talk about Nintendo's conference.
Let's talk
Woo,
about Nintendo,
Nintendo.
baby. Let's talk about you.
Does it make me a Nintendo fanboy if I say that they had the best conference?
Yes, but you're also right, so whatever.
Yeah.
Yes, but it's factual.
Well, I wouldn't say it's fact.
I
It's
want
opinion.
to say that Nintendo did the best, but it's just because I think they did the best for what I'm looking for. Like everyone else,
You
like
mean games?
had maybe something that looked interesting, 2 somethings, but like it's not a matter of who's doing the best. It's who's doing what I want. Who's doing what I need. And for me, it's Nintendo. So I don't want to say that Nintendo won, mostly because like all of their stuff is coming out in 2015, except for like games like
Hyrule Warriors.
Bayonetta and Hyrule
Smash
Warriors
Bros.
and Smash Brothers. But like everything else is 2015, and it's probably all going to be, the second half of that year. So
that was
Yeah, we might
Yeah.
see a lot of this stuff at next year's E3 as
that
well.
was
so.
that was my biggest problem with Nintendo's. It's like, guys, your console is dying now. You need games
Yeah.
now. I understand that you have to have games
right,
next
that's
year too.
that's precisely why I have a hard time saying Nintendo won.
I don't really believe in that whole winning E3 thing.
I don't-
But
But Nintendo won.
I don't think anybody won. I really don't.
nah.
Not
Yeah,
that-
I think that's.
The fans
I
win.
think Ubisoft definitely lost.
Yes.
That's fair.
Ubisoft loses life at this point. Like they're just.
Oh.
I
They lose like every year.
I was with
too.
them
RIP
last year.
Ubisoft.
But anyway,
right.
Nintendo.
So let's begin.
Nintendo started their conference off with some really strange robot chicken sketches.
No.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was pretty weird. As you saw in our reaction video, caught us a little off guard.
It caught me off guard, but like when I went back and was doing the reactions video, I thought the first skit was actually pretty funny. Like the Mother 3 joke, especially.
Mother 3,
I thought,
Yeah.
Mother 3 joke's the best joke in the whole thing, but it's the rest of them that aren't funny.
yeah.
Yeah, it's the little in-between bumpers where they have little Mac can't hold things because he's wearing boxing gloves.
Strong. How do you type with boxing gloves on?
That shit ain't funny. But no, I agree. Like having like for Nintendo to acknowledge like an angry fan screaming about Mother 3 is funny, but also for me slightly heartbreaking.
Oh.
See me as
So no, I definitely think that was really funny, but it was the only thing I thought was really funny. So
Yep, I agree.
Yeah.
but
But what about Star Fox?
yeah.
What about Star Fox? Anyway,
But Star Fox was confirmed. Does that mean Mother 3 confirmed?
yes.
Well, they
No.
after that they moved on to this crazy over-the-top Dragon Ball Z fight scene between Iwata and Reggie. But we'll save
Oh
that
my
for a little later.
Yeah.
Um,
Let's just say that fight scene's awesome.
yeah.
But after that, they talked about Yoshi's Woolly World, which
Oh, it's the cutest shit
which
ever.
I thought might
I
be
love
a
it.
dead game because they announced it at last E3 and then haven't brought it up since. And there's been like
I feel like
indirect since then.
they might have announced it at 2012's E3.
Really? It's been a while.
I think it's maybe. I know it looked completely different when they first announced it. It was
Yeah.
out since like Epic Yarn was, and now it's a three-dimensional sort of dealing. But yeah, I'm excited for that game, bro.
Me too. It's so damn
Yeah, it looks
cute.
cool.
I think that game looks better than Yoshi's New Island.
No.
I do too.
Well, everything looks better.
Not
than
just like
Yoshi's
the-
Island.
The aesthetic, I just think it looks like it plays better.
Yeah, I agree. I totally agree. I mean, I hate to say it, but like when I saw Yoshi's New Island, like footage of it, even if I didn't care for the art style, I was just like, yeah, that looks like Yoshi's Island. It looks fun, whatever. But this game, I'm like, man, I want to play that. Like, it just looks so charming.
It's something new, It's Yoshi's New Island was not.
Yeah, this game should have been called Yoshi's
Ironically.
Island. Yeah, I think
Yoshi's
Yeah.
Island.
I think it looks really cool. I really liked Epic Yarn, even though it wasn't a Kirby game. But this looks to actually be a Yoshi game, but with like
Yeah, it's
cool Yarn abilities and co-op, which is awesome.
I'm a little more excited for this one than I was for Epic Yarn because of that. I mean, I love the Epic Yarn. I think it's a lot of fun, especially with a friend. But as I've made no secret of in the past, it's a Wario Land game dressed up as a Kirby game.
I
Like,
thought you were gonna say, as I have, as I said in the past, I don't have any friends.
Oh,
That too.
That's what I was expecting as well.
no, that too. But yeah, it's they. This game looks like it does a much better job of sort of meeting Yoshi halfway.
Yeah.
There's a lot of the Yarn aesthetics and like kooky stuff you could do that's Yarn based, but it's still like Yoshi has a lot of his Yoshi abilities. He's not, he hasn't been stripped away of everything that makes him Yoshi. And it just looks like a lot of fun. And I don't know if it was in like the digital event, but Treehouse has been showing all these games so much throughout E3 that I've seen stuff that wasn't in the digital event. And like the gimmick of like throwing eggs that become like lines of yarn platforms that you could stand on, that looks really neat. So
Have I mentioned how goddamn cute it looks?
yes, you have.
Yes.
Yes.
oh, it's adorable.
It is the cutest fucking thing I've ever
Did you
seen.
see the boss fight? Because it's
I look like a little puppy.
it's the cute. Okay, you did see it. It was the cutest boss fight I've ever seen in a video game. It's like a fire puppy.
Yeah.
It's adorable.
Yeah,
And go find it.
I really look forward to that game. I like the multiplayer aspect. I look forward to not being able to play with any of you.
It won't be online.
Yeah.
Be real.
So that's cool. TBA 2015.
Oh.
To be honest,
Just like every game.
it's. Oh wait, no, TBA. Not TBH. Not TBH.
No, to be announced. To be announced.
Yeah, but it's
Yep.
super cute.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
that
I'm excited for that one.
like,
I've never wanted to hug a whole game so badly.
well, does its cuteness rival Kirby and the Rainbow Curse?
Yes.
Oh.
Yes.
Well, I mean, would you really want to hug Clay?
Yes.
Yeah.
Clay.
They're both up there, but in terms of like, it's a close contest in terms of cuteness, but there's no contest in terms of which one I am more excited about.
Right.
Because holy cow, man, I love Kirby's Canvas Curse, and I never thought it's the kind of game like I think it stands on its own. Like it doesn't. I was never like clamoring for a sequel for it, but now that we've got one, I'm super stoked. You know, I never thought we would get another Kirby game like that, and this one looks like there's so much more to it. There's like tanks and boss fights. There's like, I know there was a final boss in Canvas Curse, but other than that, it was pretty much devoid of boss fights. They were just
I
kind of
love the style to that game. It looks so cool.
Yeah.
Clay fighters don't hold a candle to that.
No, the claymation thing, I think it's, first of all, I think it looks amazing, but I also think it's an awesome sort of, like, next step from Epic Yarn. You know, they're trying, like, another different aesthetic and game world for Kirby. And, you know, Canvas Curse even did that a little itself because it was all paint. So I'm looking forward to fighting Sculptra in this one.
Yes.
But yeah, I just I'm really hyped for Kirby and the Rainbow Curse. I mean, if you just watched me in the reaction video geeking out about it. So, what about you guys?
I like Canvas Curse a lot, and I agree with what you said. Like, I wasn't really clamoring for a sequel, but it really surprised me, and I'm glad it's here. You know.
I guess I need to play Canvas Curse.
I think it's really good. I think it does a really good job of, not to shit on Epic Yarn because I love that game, but I think Kirby Canvas Curse does a great job of like it mixes it up and it shows off what the DS can do, but it's still very much a Kirby game. You know,
Oh, okay.
it's still about like exploring levels and getting powers and using them to open new areas. You know,
Cool.
I think it really was able to blend those excellently, and I really look forward to Rainbow Curse.
Nice. Yeah, I have Canvas Curse, and I just haven't played it yet. So it's just sitting on a shelf right now.
You should play that one. I said already, but the biggest like flaw I would say that Canvas Curse has is that there's no like true boss battles until the end.
All right.
So that this one has boss battles, I think is pretty awesome.
I would also say Canvas Curse doesn't really have too many like copy abilities.
Yeah, there's only like 5, and they mostly are like just navigation. They're not really for attacking purposes, you know? Like there's balloon and missile that just help you get around. But, you know, it still uses them in clever ways. And actually, we haven't seen any copy abilities for Rainbow Curse, so it might just not have them. And that wouldn't bother me too much because, like Don said, they're not really a big part of Canvas Curse. They're kind of just there because Kirby has abilities. You know, they wanted to
Make
have,
Kirby.
Yeah. But yeah. I mean, we'll see. I'm just super excited, man. So
Yeah. Wii U must really be dying for a Kirby game to be coming out already. But
Wow.
yeah, I look forward to it. I like Kirby a lot, and apparently so does Nintendo. It's become like their 4th biggest franchise because they don't seem to care about any of those other franchises. So. It's all about Mario, Zelda, Pokemon, and Kirby now. Rest in peace, Metroid.
those are the 4, man.
Oh,
Yeah, rest in peace, Metroid.
But it's Mario, Zelda, and Pokemon. Like, if you are basing it on the Smash Bros. Box arts. Those 3 are up front.
And
on both the 3DS and Wii U box
Kid
arts.
Icarus. Anyway, time for adventure!
They listened.
Gotta talk about this fucking game right here. I gotta talk about Captain Toad Treasure Tracker because, jeez, I'm so happy. I'm so happy. Like,
you were.
Who's your favorite video game character in the world, man?
Toad.
Who's your favorite?
It's Toad. Toad, and they're making a Toad game. He's the star. He's on the box art. He's in the title. It's not Mario's Treasure Tracker. It is Captain Toad's Treasure
Mario's
Tracker.
friend, Captain Toad.
Yeah. It is Captain Toad Treasure Tracker, and like I love those stages in 3D World, and like me and Ricky and Phil have been saying pretty much since we played that game, like they should really make like an eShop game, like of the Captain Toad levels, just more stages, and it's gonna be
they did one better.
Yeah, they made it a full retail release, and that's awesome.
There must be a lot to it than to have to charge $60 for it and print boxes of it.
It's pretty great.
So I'm pretty excited for that one.
Yeah, I really look forward to it. There's like turnips are back from Mario Bros. 2. That's cool. Like Shy Guys are in there.
There's the
Shy Guys.
He's got the hammer, pickaxe, but like he goes ape on that. He's like, I think Captain Toad looks super fun, super charming.
It looks like a lot of fun, and I didn't expect it. Like I was saying I wanted this game, but I didn't think Nintendo would ever make it. But they,
you know what this means, right?
What's up?
It means that next time there's a new Smash Brothers game coming out, Toad might actually be able to have a moveset.
He can have a moveset now. Shut up.
Toad.
He already could, but now he could represent his own franchise.
Right. Well, I don't know about that, but he could definitely have more stuff to do.
I'm so excited. I'm just everything that's been on my Twitter for the past like 3 days has been 100% about this one game. My phone phone background is the box art to this game.
For Captain Toad, yeah.
I am so excited. It's just like he's my favorite character, and he's getting his own video game. I never thought I would see the day. Like the last video game he was the star in, he didn't even get in the title.
Yeah.
So
it's true.
I'm just I'm so thrilled. Like and that one actually comes out this year. So like that's like
we gotta hold this over with something.
Yeah, it's like the only game.
Do we know when this year?
Winter, just holiday. It'll probably be out like November, December.
Yeah, probably.
Rest in peace. You're gonna have to choose between that game and Smash Bros.
Nope, but getting both day one. So excited.
Your wallet.
R.I.P. wallet.
Okay, I'm done with Cat.
And then you're gonna have to get all the Amiibo figures. Whoops.
Don't talk about those yet.
Wallet confirmed for empty.
Yes.
I wanted to say, David, by the way, Kyle put it on Twitter. He posted a tweet that said, here's a fun game for you shiny dittos. While watching Adam and Ditto's reaction video, write down or take a shot every time somebody says confirmed. And like before he tweeted that, I said the same thing as I was watching it after Don put it up. I was like, this whole video is just us saying blank confirmed.
I know. Whatever, I laugh every time, so I don't really care.
It's mostly you.
I know.
You're the problem child.
Yeah, well.
Hilarious confirmed.
Since we're on Mario, sort of, what do you guys think of Mario Maker? Because I don't know what to think of it yet.
I'm interested in it, mostly because of the Mario Paint stuff they said is in it, and I never played Mario Paint, so I feel like that would be my way to get.
This is Mario Paint. I did get WarioWare DIY, and I just kind of feel like it's going to be that same thing. It's like it looks really interesting. Kind of really want to get excited for it, but then it's going to be like I have to actually make the game.
Yeah.
And that's cool.
I definitely see where you're coming from, but I will say that I think it's going to take a lot less work to make a Mario level than it would to like program AI.
Well, yeah. WarioWare is like above and beyond what Mario Maker is going to be doing. But
yeah.
It's basically you're just making the stage instead of having to program. This has this feature where it does this, and the requirement where you have to make sure of this. But no, it's like here's the obstacles. Here's Mario. Here's the end of the stage.
Yeah.
Go.
Have fun.
Yeah. I think it's cool. It's kind of just bringing to the masses what Lunar Magic has allowed people to do on their computers for years now.
Yeah, exactly.
So
when that was leaked in like a shot of the show floor, and there was like a Mario Maker like booth or whatever, and everybody was like, "Is it real? Is it fake?" Phil thought it was fake. I didn't know what I thought of it, to be honest, until it was in the digital event. But either way, the idea, when I heard about the idea, I was like, yeah, that could be cool. And I was kind of like, about it. But when I saw in the digital event that you'll be able to play with...
New Super Mario
you'll
Brothers.
be able to change... Yeah, you'll be able to change the graphical style to be New Super Mario Brothers instead of 8-bit. I was a lot more excited about it after I learned that.
Yeah, and they'll probably do expansions and stuff for it.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm hoping
think about how
you could do like Super Mario Bros. 3 and like World as well.
Yeah, I am hoping for that as well. I'm thinking about how quickly NES Remix 2 came out after the first one. They might just release a whole nother Mario Maker 2, you know?
Right.
So, I'm interested in it. I definitely wouldn't pay $60 for it. No way.
It definitely looks like something that would be much better as like an eShop title. Like I've been thinking that since the leaks.
That's a great idea.
Like
I don't know how go on.
No, you go on.
Okay. I don't know how I feel about it having the Super Mario Bros. Physics, yeah.
Yeah,
Couldn't
that
think of
kind
the
of
word.
bothers me too. Like, I completely agree. I understand that, like, the two graphical styles, they have to have the same physics or the whole thing falls apart. But I would have went with the vastly improved new Super Mario Brothers physics. Because I think Super Mario Brothers 1, you know, obviously it's a classic, but it's a little clunky. I think it hasn't aged as well as even Super Mario Brothers 3 has aged much better, you know. So, yeah, I'm not too thrilled about that either, but...
I mean, Super Mario Brothers has some pretty solid controls, so...
Yeah.
It's not like it's really destroying anything just by...
No, it's not god-awful. I would never... I mean, obviously, it's one of the most classic games of all time. I think that it's aged. It's a little dated.
Oh, totally.
It's a little clunky compared to Super Mario World or whatever, you know?
Yeah.
But I think it could be fun. I hope that you'll be able to make the stages longer than what they showed in...
Yeah, it looked very short.
It's like 3 screens. And there's space on the bottom to drag a scroll bar, so it could potentially... this game seems early. It's not coming out till 2015, so you know that they must be doing a lot more work than what they've shown.
Which is
Otherwise-
crazy, because they have all the stuff ready to go. What the hell's taking them so long?
Yeah, they must obviously be doing a lot more to it, so I'm sure you'll be able to make longer levels. I'm sure you'll be able to share levels, and I think that's all pretty cool. So
I want to know if they I don't think they have confirmed that like you can share levels
you'll be able.
online.
What's the point if you
I'm
can't?
sure.
Like, what's the point? Like,
Yeah.
you're right that they haven't said that yet, but I would be.
I think it's implicit.
I mean, my jaw would drop if you weren't able to do that because, like Matt said, what would the point be in making your own Mario levels if you can't like share them?
Maybe you can load them onto your Amiibos and bring them to your friend's house.
We'll get to that later. We'll get to that later.
Motherfuckers keep bringing up the Amiibos, and it's just like, we talked about this.
I get the me part.
Anyway, before we get into some of the other bigger games, let's talk about some of the smaller ones. What do you guys think of Xenoblade Chronicles X?
That's one of the small ones. That game looks huge.
No, I
imagine that
you know
game's
what I
really
meant.
big.
I know what you meant. I am excited for it. I enjoyed Xenoblade Chronicles a lot. I never beat it because I just kind of lost interest in it. But this one, you know, maybe the same thing will happen. Maybe I'll lose interest in it. But even if I do, I really enjoyed what I did play out of the first game. So I'm really excited for this one. And it's got mechs. It's got Gundams. So
War Gundam.
Robot.
yeah,
You know what's
I'm
funny?
hoping.
The guys
Go
at Treehouse that was demoing Xenoblade Chronicles X, they also did not beat Xenoblade Chronicles. Yeah.
What?
They
The
admitted
guys
that
from
on stream.
Treehouse.
Must be a common theme.
Wow, that's interesting. That is hilarious. But
Game,
What about
game
this
confirmed
game?
unbeatable.
What about this game just made people not want to beat it?
Well,
like
they said they enjoyed what they played, like Ricky said.
Yeah.
But maybe it's just too long for some people.
for
I
me,
played like 2 hours of that game.
I think I've said this in the video before, but I'll say it just because you asked, David. For me, like, I got to a point where like there was a mission that I had to go through this like valley and do some fetch quest, and like there were enemies in the valley that would hit me with status effects. One of them froze all of my cooldowns, so I couldn't use any of my like commands. and one of them locked my character in place so I couldn't walk. So they just bodied me. And like I'm sure there was some armor or something that makes you immune to that status. You know, I'm sure there was some like way that you were supposed to do to get past those guys. I just didn't care enough to like find out, and I just sort of stopped playing. But I don't think that it's a bad game at all. And like I said, I'm really excited for this one. And whether I beat it or not, I want to play it anyway. And I'm hoping it'll be online because I think they've kind of teased that. So
Yeah.
that would be pretty badass.
They definitely, I don't think they've confirmed online play, but like based on screenshots, it seems like it is designed for like online multiplayer. Like having like the avatar character, like not just Shulk. They have somebody that you customize, make it personal. So like,
yeah,
you could possibly take it online. You know, that makes sense. Something like Phantasy Star Online. You know,
I definitely think they've got a much better framework for that with the Wii U than they did when the first game came out. You know, I mean, Monster Hunter is online, and that works pretty well from what I hear. So I definitely think that would be really cool to play online with you guys or with whoever, you know, Shiny Dittos or whatever. So
yeah,
I'm excited for Xenoblade Chronicles X. I don't like the name.
No, it's a dumb name.
Yeah.
I
already an
understand why they. I understand why they did it, because they want that brand recognition. You know, the first game sold pretty well for a Wii game that late in the Wii's lifespan. I mean, it was pretty high on like GameFAQs, like most popular games. So you know, it must have done pretty well for itself. But I think that like when we're watching the direct, the name comes up and the X is just sort of in the background, and I was like, Xenoblade Chronicles, that's what they're calling it. I was like, okay, what was the first game called? Xenoblade Chronicles? Wait a minute, what? Like, it just... I feel like if they wanted to keep the Xenoblade brand name, they should have done something like Xenoblade
Robo Fights.
You know? Yeah, I don't know. But the name
Xenoblade Visa Mech.
The name is better. Not a huge fan, though, I will say.
All right.
It definitely piqued my interest. Like I said, I only played like 2 hours of the Xenoblade Chronicles.
Yeah, Josh was not a big fan of that game. The voice acting turned him off.
Well, yeah, that too. But I'm sure it'll be better in this game, and I might be able to tolerate it more to the point where I could actually beat the game.
Well, this game is supposed to be on Earth.
Yeah, like
I watched Treehouse play it, and there was like a United States like sign that had like the flag and the words in English "United States," and I was like,
Earth gets destroyed. That's like the story.
Yeah,
and like you crash land on an alien planet.
I mean, we'll see. We'll see what the voice acting is like, because so far we've only heard Japanese voice acting.
Well, cool.
All right. Bayonetta 2. How about Bayonetta 2?
Electric Boogaloo.
Yes. That game looks nuts.
I only heard good things about the first Bayonetta, so the Bayonetta 2 is existing, and they're packaging it with Bayonetta, so I'll can play Bayonetta, get Bayonetta 2, and play Bayonetta.
Well, my first thought when I saw them like reveal that they were going to be including the original game, I thought, oh, that's genius. But like pretty quickly after that, I thought about it. I'm like, no, it would be stupid not to, because there are a lot of people like Kyle who never played the first one, but are mildly interested in it, and this is their way to get it for basically free. I mean, obviously, you have to buy the second game, but like, and there's even new stuff in it. Like you can dress up Bayonetta like Peach or Link or Samus, you know,
which is pretty awesome.
Yeah, very very cool. I've been excited for Bayonetta 2 pretty much since they announced it. And when they first announced it for Wii U, like I hadn't even played the first one. I actually went out and bought the first one just so I could play it, so that I could go into Bayonetta 2, you know, knowing everything. And like, there's a lot of not a lot, but there's just enough like bullshit in the first game that's frustrating. But I'm really glad I played it. It's a lot of fun. The parts that are fun are really fun. It's just the spectacle of the surreality of everything, and the hyper violence and the hyper sexualization of everything is just so over the top that it's like becomes funny, which I'm sure was intentional. some games are trying to play it serious, and that's why it's funny. But I think Bayonetta finds that nice balance of like
It
not
knows what
taking
it is.
it's not taking itself seriously, but it's blown up to 11 everywhere, and it's just fun. It's just a good time, and I think for both people who played the first one and for people who didn't, I'm so excited that they're packaging it with the first game. I think that's great business move.
It is great. Why did
It's
they?
also worth
Why did
mentioning.
they gloss over it?
Yeah, they just threw it under there at the last second. They were like, "Oh yeah, the first game is here too, I guess."
What do you?
It's also worth mentioning that the Bayonetta 1 included with Bayonetta 2 is
Digital?
like being handled by come on, maybe, but it's being handled by like the port is being handled by Platinum Games themselves as well as B Tribes, I believe, who has been working with them with Wonderful 101 and Vanquish. So like it's not just like a random second or like fifth rate video game company.
Yeah, both Bayonetta 1 and 2 were on the show floor, and people who played the first one said that it was like a great port. It was 60 FPS. There was no screen tearing or anything, no slowdown.
Nice.
So I think that's great. That might even make this, like the definitive version of Bayonetta 1, which is crazy to think that it would be on a Nintendo console, but I think that's awesome, personally.
What was the original one?
360
Yeah.
Xbox and
PS3.
PS3.
It was originally for 360. The PS3 version is often considered a terrible port
Okay.
because there's like screen tearing and stuff. But
And bad load times.
bad load times, yeah. But yeah, I just I'm really excited for both of those games. I mean, I already played Bayonetta 1, but I would play it again to see her dressed as Samus or whatever, So yeah,
Nice.
I do it.
Alright.
I do it. I'm
I
curious.
I never played it, but it was definitely on my radar because I just thought it was such a goofy concept that it was worth checking out. So
yeah.
maybe I will.
I definitely think it's worth playing. There are a lot of parts in it that frustrated me. There's like QTEs and stuff that are not good, but I think it's worth sticking it through to the end just for how insane everything is.
Right.
I also wanted to say I'm curious what they'll do because the first game has a lot of like it was published by Sega, so there's a lot of like Sega references in it. There's like an Outrun. There's a sequence where you're on a bike and it's playing Outrun music. There's a sequence where you're riding a missile and it plays like Space Harrier and there's Space Harrier music.
I'm sure they'll just change the
So
music.
yeah, well, yeah, I'm sure they will, but that sucks because I love Space Harrier music.
Well, why would they? I mean, Sega still don't they own the character and stuff? Or?
I don't think they do.
I'm not sure. I think
alright.
it's Platinum Games.
Yeah,
Oh,
I think
right,
Platinum owns the character.
But yeah, I'm curious to see what they do with that because those sequences were really charming in the first game to me, at least, as like a Sega fan.
Yeah.
Historian, not historian. Why would I say something so douchey?
I'm a Sega historian.
No, please don't put that quote out of context on YouTube.
We should tag you as when we put the description of this video up. We're going to tag you as Ricky
Sega
in quotes, the Sega historian.
No.
Did you know that Castle of Illusion came out before Sonic the Hedgehog 1?
I know because I'm a Sega historian.
Gotta go
I'm
fast.
sorry.
Gotta go fast indeed.
Sonic is that's bro.
Anyway,
Yes.
let's talk about Splatoon.
Splatoon
It's a
looks
game.
adorable.
It's paintball. Done.
No. I think Splatoon
It
is
is
like
so
a
much
really
fun.
creative concept. Like
Yeah.
it's a shooting game, but like the premise of it is like you're trying to paint as much as of the floor as possible of your team's color. Like it's not too much about like shooting each other.
Although you can.
It's more about
Although you certainly can.
you definitely can.
Yeah.
But it's more about like getting the most of the territory.
Yeah, I'm very excited for Splatoon. It kind of surprised me when they first showed it in the digital event. I was kind of like, yeah, all right, looks like it might be fun or whatever. But the more I saw it throughout E3, Treehouse playing it or the developers talking about it or whatever, the more I just got really pumped for it. I think it looks really good. The way it is right now, I think it needs a little more meat to it, which I'm sure they're working on it. It's another 2015 release, so I'm sure they're gonna take the time and fill it out a little more. In fact, they were talking to the devs, and they said that there are a lot of items they want to implement that are not in the. They actually said they might do like Team Fortress 2 style classes where like you can pick somebody with a paint bazooka or whatever, who they will actually play differently. They sort of said they were thinking of that, and that sounds really cool, man.
Idea.
I'm really excited for Splatoon. The whole thing with the like I said earlier, the cute squid girls, like it's very Nintendo to me, taking something so colorful and silly and just running with it.
Yep.
They actually said while Treehouse was talking to them, the devs said that the reason they're squids and not octopods, is because squids have that nice little arrow shape, and that let them, like when you're looking at the map, you can see which direction the characters are facing. And like I think that's
good.
really, I think that's really interesting, like game design. I think these guys have a lot of cool ideas, and I'm really excited for this game. I'm curious though if it's going to be full retail or what, because like I said, it seems like right now there's not quite enough meat to it that I would drop $60 for it.
Yeah. It seems like a good beginning, but like you said, it's nothing that I can see myself, dropping $60 on right now.
If it was like an eShop game and it was $20, I would.
It looks like it looks like a free online game right now. It looks like something my little cousin would play,
A free-to-play eShop game is not out of the realm of possibility,
Yeah,
That's how Steel Diver Subwars is.
Yeah.
Maybe you could buy the different classes that they're talking about.
Yeah.
That'd be interesting, but they didn't. I mean, they obviously we don't know much about this game yet, but they never said that. I think this game looks cool. Nintendo's trying to do the whole online thing. Like shooters are big, so let's kind of make our own Nintendo shooter. And like
there's not really a Nintendo shooter right now. I mean, unless you include Metroid, but
rest in peace. So they Nintendofied it. They made them little squid girls, and they shoot paint, and it's very unique, very colorful. I think it looks cool.
Yeah, something that I don't remember who said this. Maybe it was Pro Jared, but somebody said that like the being able to swim through the ink is what makes like the game. And without having played it, I think I agree. Like if it was just paint, like tagging the arena, I don't think it would be as cool or as fun. But the fact that tagging the arena that influences how you get around and how quickly you can move and where you can hide and shoot people from. That I think they have a really solid core mechanic to branch out and build a game around.
Yeah.
So, I'm really excited for Splatoon.
Yeah.
It's got a sort of Mario Sunshine-esque type thing going on with it, like not just because like it's like mess, but like you have to go into the ink to like refill up your meter.
Yeah.
I think we all thought it was Mario Sunshine, like a Mario Sunshine sequel when it came out.
No, you guys thought it was the Blob first.
I made a joke about it being the Blob. Yeah.
Yeah, I was the one who said Mario Sunshine because it's like paint or goop, and you see like a squid, like a blooper-looking thing jump out of it, and I was like, "Is this Mario Sunshine? What am I looking at?"
No, I totally thought it was Mario Sunshine.
Personally, I think I'm more excited for it than if it was a Mario Sunshine sequel.
Yeah. All right. What do you guys want to talk about next? Should we talk about a big game, or do you want to talk about some of those?
Hyrule Warriors.
All right, let's talk about Hyrule Warriors.
Yeah, we kind of skipped over that.
Yeah, we didn't talk about the others.
I'm really interested in Hyrule Warriors, especially because it's one of the ones that was announced to actually still come out this year.
Yeah.
That's important. That's very important.
Well, that was...
I saw that Team Ninja was on it, and I recognized them from Other M, and I was like, okay, cool. And as the developers were talking about it, is like they're talking about it being a Dynasty Warriors game, and I'm like, what's Dynasty Warriors?
I don't think Team Ninja's working on it.
Yeah, they are.
They are?
The
Yeah.
developers Omega Force, Team Ninja, Nintendo SPD. Emergency.
Anyways,
yeah.
Dynasty.
Okay.
I was gonna explain what Dynasty Warriors is. It's a series of I guess hack and slash games that's been released.
Yeah, that's the term.
Yeah, pretty much.
Pretty much since the 90s, where you just play as like some like old Japanese dudes and you beat the shit out of Chinese. Sorry. You beat the shit out of hordes of enemies, and it becomes super repetitive after one game.
That's kind of the core of Dynasty Warriors, is that like it's kind of become its own genre, because the core of it is like it's one dude versus like thousands of enemies, at a time. And it's like the reason I say it's sort of become its own genre is because there have been so many of them by Tecmo Koei, where they'll just sort of take a franchise and like, let's do a Dynasty Warriors with One Piece characters, or let's do a Dynasty Warriors with Zelda characters, and something that Don was saying.
It's not like necessarily a bad thing. I mean, because this game looks like it's really interesting.
Yeah, I'm really excited for it because personally I've never played a Dynasty Warriors game. So,
yeah, so you can't be sick of it yet.
Yeah, exactly.
I played a few of them in college, and I mean, you guys pretty much nailed it. It's fun for about 20 minutes, and then you're just doing the same thing over and over and over and over again. And I don't know. To me, it's like playing a Diablo game, but there's no item drops that keep you going. There's no real. There's nothing to work toward. It's just, well, I guess I'll just beat up some more people and level up some more.
Yeah.
So there's no real end goal, I guess.
I mean, the game's not out yet, so I can't say for sure that won't be the case in Hyrule Warriors. It probably will, in fact. But the one like nugget of optimism that I'm holding on to is that Aonuma's supervising it, and he said in the digital event that like they're going to try to sort of combine Zelda. They kept using the word essence, the essence of Zelda with the essence of Dynasty Warriors. And I'm hoping that like Zelda is such about finding items and money, and using different items to reach new areas.
Yeah,
that's sort of the core of what Zelda's about. And if they combine that with Dynasty Warriors, it could keep it a little bit fresher. I don't know. Like I said, I'm just trying to stay optimistic about it. But I'm really looking forward to it, and like I said earlier, it's got a lot of playable female characters, which is wonderful.
Yeah, I heard that
of the four,
more than half
Link,
the
Impa, Midna, and Zelda. That's 3 out of the 4.
Right.
Yeah,
there are way more though, and I heard that more than 50% of the cast is going to be female characters, which I mean makes total sense if you think about the characters in the Zelda games.
Yeah. So
are just outright more females.
Yeah, other than Link, who's like the main one.
Mm-hmm. But I mean, who do you have?
Yeah, but yeah, I think it's going to be really cool to even if you get sick of playing as Link, I would switch to Impa just to see what different attacks she has and everything.
So I think that got her own notch strike from. It's awesome.
Yeah, she's got that big ass like cleaver sword. Mm-hmm. I think just the fact that it's Zelda characters instead of generic feudal dudes.
I got excited when I saw the trailer this E3 for it, because like I'd seen just like the teaser for it before, and it's like, oh man, it just looked like took a bunch of the models from Skyward Sword and threw in a Dodongo. But I saw the Stall kids from Ocarina of Time in this one, and I realized. They are working their asses off to make sure that this like is a real Zelda universe. It's like they're taking enemies from all the games.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean that Midna's in it at all, and the moon from Majora's Mask.
Yeah, that was the coolest surprise in the whole thing. I think
that was very very cool.
What's that?
It seems they basically it's it's really like Bayonetta over the top what happens, but they basically like hookshot the moon and just like drag it down to like crash into Argarok. It's kind of nutty, and I'm all for it. I think that's the way to go. Making kind of a weird spin-off Zelda like this is to just go balls out and just have it's not canon, so who cares? Just have every Zelda
all of it.
universe. Yeah. So
I want to see Toon Link in there.
You might.
Might. I'm pretty excited for Hyrule Warriors.
Yeah.
I know. I feel like I'm saying that for every Nintendo game that they've shown off, but
It's like I said. It's about Nintendo giving you what you need.
yeah.
It's what you want.
I can give you what you want.
David, stop right there.
I'm personally not too interested in Hyrule Warriors. I do like the designs, but I want to ask: isn't this game already out in Japan? How come we don't already know everything about
It's
it?
not.
I thought it came out in August.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Okay.
Redacted.
All right.
Wrong.
Any characters that you guys are looking forward to playing as?
I'm sure that Ganondorf will be playable.
Oh, of course he is, and it's going to be the first time really that he's going to be playable outside of Smash
The
Brothers.
first time Zelda's really playable.
But that still leaves I think they've said there's going to be 9. Correct me if I'm wrong.
9 what?
Somebody said 9 characters.
Did they?
Somebody said that there were 4 that we know about at E3. There's Link, Zelda, Impa, Midna. But somebody said that there were 5 slots on the screen or whatever left. So, I mean, who else would it be? Ravio?
Fuck Bruce.
Yeah, I really want
Nice
Groose.
name.
I want Groose to be playable.
I feel like Groose is definitely going to be in there because he's gotten so much attention. I think.
Don't forget, it was almost the Legend of Groose.
Yeah, it almost took place in Grooseland instead of Hyrule.
Yeah, I don't know if we'll see Sheik because Impa's kind of chic.
I don't know, man.
Maybe Skull Kid with the
The thing-
mask.
The thing with Impa that they've done in Hyrule, I'll give you that, in Skyward Sword, Impa's role is basically Sheik.
Yeah.
But what they've done with her in Hyrule Warriors, they've given Impa this big-ass sword. She's not very ninja-like in that game.
That's true. She's more of a samurai.
Yeah, so I think that we could still see Sheik, and she could be pretty different from... Sheik could be pretty different from...
Ha-cha-cha-cha.
Yeah. I'll be here all week. You know what I mean, though? I think that's not out of the realm of possibility.
Yeah.
And we might see, Din, Ferrari, and Nehru, possibly.
Yeah. I'm hoping for Darunia.
Darunia would be very cool.
I'd also love to see. I just wanted to see a big, burly, muscly, 50-year-old dude with facial hair and a big old beard.
It could be Roru.
And he's dressed as Tingle.
Oh, okay. Or that. Sure. Well, yeah, I mean, I'd be up for Naburu or Fi or whoever.
Naburu would be really cool.
So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if Link gets the Master Sword, then Fi's in it.
well, yeah. But yeah, I'm interested to see who the other playable characters might be.
Yep.
What about Girahim?
Yeah, Girahim would be cool.
Zant.
I'm just thinking, they made a point to say more than once in the digital event. There are a lot of playable characters, so
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of
And there
playable
are-
characters in Dynasty Warriors games.
That's what I was just going to say, yeah.
yeah,
They can. I mean,
yeah.
there's not too much to the characters.
Right. And they learn more attacks as they level up and stuff, so it'll be fun.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
What do you guys think of the new Zelda game?
I'm looking forward
Oh,
to
my
that.
God. It is,
Fifteen-
Beautiful.
it is
15
gorgeous. It
seconds
looks
of it.
like a damn painting. It's the prettiest game I've ever seen, I think.
It looks very pretty, and I
That-
wanted to just say, go ahead, Kyle.
That thing with chasing what potentially could not be Link, and I was just like, am I watching a Zelda or am I watching Princess Mononoke?
Yeah, it is. It is very
Androgynous.
No, they confirmed that it's Link.
but
Yeah, they
Yeah.
did later. He was just kind of
Did
messing
they?
around.
Yeah, they did.
Oh, so he was messing around. Because Anuma did say, who said it was Link?
Yeah, he was.
Or
He
no one
wasn't really
necessarily
messing
said it.
around. He just didn't necessarily he didn't explicitly say this was Link. He never actually said that, and
Well-
that's factual information. And then the whole internet journalism, they like to spin on shit. So
Yeah.
Yeah. So naturally, they were like, "Oh, he basically said it's not Link," which he
Yes.
didn't.
So then he had to come out and say that it is.
Yep.
It is Link,
It just
but
look,
Link
it looks
is meant
great.
to represent the player. So don't be too focused on the look of Link in that trailer. That's what he said.
Well, he looks awesome, and that's all I care.
Yeah, he does.
Like, the fact that I was
Yeah.
comparing to Princess Mononoke at all tells me that this game looks fucking amazing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I love the little like cyber arrow or whatever.
Mhm.
It's pushing it a little bit in the future in terms of technology, but it's still very fantasy. It reminds me of Final Fantasy VI in how it's with like the Magitech and stuff. It's a little bit more up to date, but not that much. It's still very
Right.
It
It
still
inching
looks like
along.
Zelda. Yeah.
Well, like I remember when people were pissed that they had a steam-powered train in Spirit Tracks. So I'm kind of surprised the internet's not in as big of an uproar over, the giant robotic thing,
Yeah.
the giant robotic P-hat,
Whatever,
and
man. If anybody's
Link's
upset
arrow.
about anything in that trailer, then I want nothing to do with that person.
Yeah, they're wrong.
That's pretty much how I feel about it. It just looks so good. It's kind of the perfect marriage of Wind Waker and the traditional, Zelda game.
So was Skyward Sword, I think. But
Yeah.
Right, but like this is
a
kind
much
of
better looking. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, clearly because it's HD.
It's HD. And it looks wonderful. And Arnuma said that you could, reminding me of Skyrim a lot, which I've never played. But Arnuma said that like you could even walk to those mountains in the background if you walked far enough. So I would be totally down for some open world Zelda.
Yeah.
But
That sounds awesome.
I
Yeah,
also
I-
wanted to say,
I believe they did mention, like, in a long time ago in an interview with Anuma that, like, they took some inspirations from Skyrim.
Yeah, I think I remember hearing that too.
I mean, I think that makes sense because that's sort of like the last direction Zelda has to explore, But the one last thing I wanted to add is that they said after the digital event that all of that was in engine, so
Mm-hmm.
that's good.
That's
But
glorious.
that wasn't gameplay.
Yeah, but it's probably so early in development that
Yeah. Like I
you
mentioned
said.
earlier, that doesn't really bother me with this one because this game doesn't even have a name yet, so I doubt they have much gameplay to show off. But it looks what we saw was really, really pretty, and I'm really excited.
Beautiful.
I just love Zelda, man. Every Zelda gets me excited, but this one looks like it's going to be pretty fresh. So
Well, the interesting thing for me will be like how they sort of incorporate what they learned from Link Between Worlds. Like, I want to say Link Between Worlds is sort of like their testing ground for open world, with the rental system and being able to choose whichever dungeon you want to go. And with this seemingly being open world, I'm pretty sure they said it's open world. It'll just be interesting to see how they sort of take what they have from Link Between Worlds and put it in Wii U.
basically expand upon it.
Yeah.
And like the thing is, I don't even think Link had a sword at all. So he just had the bow and arrow right
Well,
away.
He wasn't wearing his green tunic either. So
Well,
it might be
yeah,
from
well,
the very beginning.
you
So
don't
that
know
might-
that was right away either. I mean,
Right.
Right.
Well,
You don't
that's
know that that's even going to be in the
Well, I mean,
final
right away
game.
in the trailer. Well, shut up.
Oh shit. Link disconfirmed.
Yeah, the game could end up looking entirely different, like a la like Wind Waker versus Space
Or like
World.
Ocarina of Time.
Oh, yeah.
well done. I will say that this already, what we have, looks pretty different from.
The
HD
original Wii U
ones.
demo.
Yeah, exactly.
You're right. You're right.
That doesn't mean that this game still couldn't end up looking very different, but I think that they're a little closer to a realized idea of it now than they were when they did the original Wii U tech demo.
I
So
agree.
yeah.
What they have here, I am really satisfied with. I dig the long like side bangs.
The
Sideburns.
ponytail.
I do too.
Yeah, the ponytail. Yeah, the ponytail as well.
Mm-hmm. It makes him look younger, I think.
I like the ponytail. It had a lot of people convinced it was a girl.
Which-
And like, if it was, I wouldn't have a problem with that either.
No, it'd be great.
But I like the idea of a male Link with a ponytail. It makes it. I think it suits the whole like cyber element of it. It makes it just a tiny bit more modern without losing the fantasy of it. I don't know quite why or how to explain it better than that, but
Yeah, I think you hit the nail on the head. So
yeah. What about you, man?
Well, there's not a lot to talk about with this one. I just I love Zelda. I'm really excited for it, but they haven't shown much. It's definitely enough to pique my interest, but I'll hold off until I know more about it. I mean, I'm gonna get it regardless. It's Zelda, so it's gonna happen regardless. But I definitely want to see where they go from here. I will say about Link's design, I like it a lot. It reminds me, it looks a lot like if Zelda and Link from Skyward Sword like had a kid. Like there's a lot of like facial features that are kind of similar to Zelda's from that game.
Fanfiction confirmed.
Link and Petrie's OTP.
Nope. Link and Petrie's disconfirmed.
I'm trolling, obviously.
Yeah. I'm excited, but not a lot there. Not a lot. It's no Captain Toad. So.
I can't believe you're more excited for Captain Toad than a new Zelda game that is open world.
I don't know anything about that one yet.
Said,
Open world versus tiny world.
Does it start Toad?
what if Anuma said you couldn't play as a girl because they didn't know how to model girls?
That'd be a lie.
Well, that'd be a lie because Zelda's in the game.
Yeah, he's that guy's not dumb enough to say that. I like Aonuma a lot,
I know.
but
I'm just
also
trolling.
even
I
if
just want to poke fun at Ubisoft again.
yeah, I don't blame you. But the thing about that is, man, even if I'm assuming you like every other Zelda game ever, it'll just be male Link that you get to play as. But even if the internet is not satisfied with that, go play Hyrule Warriors, where there's all these badass females,
Yeah.
all these badass ladies kicking ass. So,
And taking names.
but anyway, that's Zelda.
Yep, that's Zelda. Let's go.
That's fantasy mode.
That's actually Link.
Yes.
Why can't Metroid crawl?
Yes.
Why? Well, we
Okay.
No, go ahead. No, go ahead.
We kind of have been glossing over the figures that there had been all this talk of the Nintendo figure. What did the C stand for? Collection?
NFC?
yeah.
NFC? Yeah.
Nintendo
Near
figure
field
collection?
communication.
Communication?
Near field
Well-
communication. But it
Oh.
stood for. They also did Nintendo figure. I forget what the C was for.
If the
collection.
F in NFC is figure, then why do we say NFC figures? That's redundant.
It's
Yeah.
near field communication.
it's-
That's what it stands for.
It's like
Then, okay.
DC Comics.
Anywho, they had been teasing that. They had been talking about it, and we finally got a better taste of what that actually is. And you saw our reactions to the Amiibo figures.
Should have been called Amigo.
That's
Yeah.
what we all said. Yeah.
I thought we were saving the Amiibo.
But what do you... Oh, what?
What?
I thought we were going
We still have other stuff to talk about.
to talk.
Oh, shit. That's right. I forgot. Okay. There was all this stuff that was not in the digital event. But,
Well, we still have the digital event. We still have Pokemon.
Yeah.
Oh, for God's sake.
We still have.
Was Pokemon in the digital
yes,
event?
It was. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
It was a minute
Go
trailer.
Oh yeah, that's
Go-
right. It was so HD. I
Go
forgot.
ahead.
I shouldn't be allowed to
Go ahead.
steer the conversation because I'm just going to the wrong
Go ahead.
direction.
Talk
It's
about
alright.
Pokemon.
They showed Megas there.
Yeah, done.
We got more footage than we've ever gotten before of that game.
There's no way
I
all
believe I say that in the
There's no way
reaction.
all you want to say is we got Megas. Come on, don't pull my leg like that.
Well, like, really, other than that, what did they show?
we got the footage, which
Sort of.
is one. It's like it's fine because it's all places that you recognize from the first time you played Holland,
hmm
except updated to Gen 6 graphics. It's great,
Right.
mind you, but it's like I understand what I'm getting.
Yeah.
I really do.
They look
Mega
I-
Sableye, and Mega Sablye's got such a boring design.
Mega Sableye.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the stuff that they announced outside of the digital event, I thought was more interesting.
Then Pokemon.
The Pokemon stuff
Oh,
that they announced outside
you're
of the
talking
digital
about like
event.
Mega Sceptile and Mega Swampert. Yeah, they are.
And
Got announced well before E3.
Yeah, but
and
Yeah,
make
like
the
a
same
week.
flag. And also like
Mega DNC.
we have like, a picture of the
the map.
map. Yeah, like
Yeah.
in like, the area
Check
where
the map.
it's water, there's more land.
Oh, I didn't recognize that.
Or
Then again, I only looked at Hoenn once, so
Pokemon's never been like a big focus for Nintendo at E3, and it doesn't surprise me.
Because it's gonna sell either
Yeah.
way, you know.
It doesn't need any
They
help.
have other channels to reveal Pokemon news, and they know that they don't need to do a big Pokemon push at E3. So that's why I kind of forgot that we were supposed to talk about it. But I mean, you
I'm kind of
guys.
surprised we even got a trailer. Sorry to interrupt you, Ricky.
No, that's cool.
I mean, they had some time to fill, so let's throw Pokemon in there.
It's a new adventure,
It's a new adventure.
I-
a whole new world.
New world.
I mean, you guys know where we stand on the Ruby and Sapphire remakes. Like, I was not a big fan of Ruby and Sapphire, but I'm excited for the remakes because I'm sure they'll fix almost all the problems that I had with Ruby and Sapphire.
Almost.
So
I can guarantee they're gonna add like more story, like they did with Team Rocket, by adding those new characters.
I
Remember Proton and did the other guys?
I'm 100% positive the story that they're gonna have in Oris, it's gonna be mega centric.
hmm
Well,
oh yeah, like Steven Stone already showed, like
which is a great idea. Because who else would be excited about Megastones but Steven?
Steven
the
Stone.
champion. Oh,
Yeah.
hopefully he's still the champion, and they don't make Wallace the champion.
Why would
again.
they change that?
Well, I mean,
'Cause
they
they
changed
did
it
in
in
Emerald.
Emerald.
Well, that's different. That's different. But I mean, like, I think that's already a problem that we were solving. Remember, like, one of the problems we had was that he was probably the most boring champion because you've got no idea who he is or why. He's just, he's the champion. You've interacted with him once, but now that you're interacting with him a lot more because of these Megastones, it gives you a lot more to be excited about.
Yeah,
You're-
but they also Wallace had nothing to do with anything either when they replaced him. So they just replaced him with someone as boring in Emerald.
Josh is right, but I agree with you, Kyle, that they are, even with just what we know of these games now, which is not much, they are already seeming to address one of the problems that I had with third gen. So, that's wonderful. Like I said, I'm sure the only problem that I'm not positive will be fixed is, like, I hope they expand on the dive mechanic. I think that would be the biggest missed opportunity in the world if they don't. But I don't think that's, like, guaranteed to be fixed in the same way. Like, there's going to be you'll be able to catch more than 200 Pokemon between those two games. Yeah, I mean, it has to be fixed, or they're the worst games ever made. So,
Whoa.
I'm
All the
I'm sure
dislikes.
that. No, I'm excited. I'm excited for
Dislikes confirmed.
Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. I am.
I mean,
I'm
I'll
looking forward to
buy it
playing.
because I'm a fucking sucker, but
I'm
won't like
I'm on the David boat. It's not that I won't like it. I'll play it and I'll enjoy the hell out of it. But as of right now, I'm just like, that's happening. Yep. That
Yep.
sure is a thing that's going to happen later this year that I'm going to spend money on.
Also, I just want to mention that Kyle's probably right, and he's champion again because I think they're doing Ruby and Sapphire story and not Emerald because
Yeah.
they Team
They can't-
Aqua and Magma are separate in each version
Yeah. Well, I mean,
rather than together.
Yeah, because of the nature of Ruby and Sapphire, like Heart Gold and Soul Silver were able to sort of bring in stuff from Crystal, like with Suicune, and they were able to do that. You can't, because of the fact that there's two different villain teams that are different in each version. I think Ruby and Sapphire are going to be Ruby and Sapphire and not as much Emerald.
Right.
And I think the fact that they're focusing so much on Steven and like pre-release info shows that he's going to be important. So.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's. I don't have
The main
anything else to
characters'
say.
designs are more based on the Emerald look.
Well, sure.
Well, I mean, all of the remakes have kind of conflated the originals with the third version, so it makes sense that they take elements from both.
Well, I mean, all the remakes have had like the same design in each of the three versions. So
Anyway.
that's kind of moving on.
All right. let's try to breeze through these last few. So I mean, we're already over 2 hours. Nintendo talked, as Ricky mentioned earlier, they talked about a lot of stuff outside of the Direct. Or
Stuff
yeah,
confirmed.
a lot of things like they casually mentioned that they're making a Mario Party 10. That was weird. Just,
Bowser
yeah,
Party.
Bowser Party. There's Devil's Third, which is a game that that died a while back. It was being developed for the PS3 and 360, and then THQ went out of business, and Nintendo was like, "All right, well, we'll give you the money, finish your game, make it exclusive for Wii U." So that's a thing that's happening.
That game is being made by some Tomonobu. Wait, no, I forget what his that first name.
Tomodachi.
His Itagaki, but like that's the dude that did Ninja Gaiden
Yeah.
and Dead or Alive.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
He that game looks kind of cool. The graphics aren't great, but it looks fun. I've watched the Treehouse.
I think it looks
play
okay.
Yeah, it looks like it could be cool. I don't know that I'd pay full price for it, but
I don't think many people would pay full price for it.
I
don't think it's gonna get a lot of sales.
I think the big question here is, what does any of this have to do with Fossil Fighters?
there is a new Fossil Fighters game coming out, Josh. It's called Fossil Fighters Frontier,
Look at that.
and I don't have anything to say about it.
It's a dinosaur fighter.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody's played Fossil Fighters here.
Okay, and then
But we-
I'm moving on from Fossil Fighters. They announced a Mario vs. Donkey Kong game. Whoop-de-doo.
Lemmings.
What about Codename Steam? What do you guys think of that one? That was their
Steam.
I didn't see anything.
that was their
about it.
big like
I
reveal.
I feel bad that we're just like completely glossing over Mario vs. Donkey Kong, but I don't have anything to say about it, so I can't.
Probably because they've made that game like 8 times already.
Yep, I can't like fight to stick on it.
It's just like we have nothing to say about Mario Party 10 because what do you say about it?
Anyway,
Car.
Codename Steam.
Yeah, I watched the Treehouse play it. They revealed this after, like the day after, I think. They revealed it yesterday.
Yeah, it was.
Was that like a
It was their
yeah? Was
second
that like a
round
developer
table.
roundtable, and like they were like, oh, it's a mystery 3DS game, and everybody was like, Majora's Mask 3D confirmed, and
Yeah, and then they were like, no, it's a new IP, and everybody was like, Majora's Mask 3D.
They're like, no idiots.
A new IP. Yeah.
And it ended up
Starring
it ended
Majora.
up being Codename Steam, which is it's being developed by Intelligent Systems, which means it'll be good because they've never made a bad game. It's this weird hybrid, like it's a turn-based game, but it also has like action elements, and it's all like steampunked out. And you're like the plot of the game is like Abraham Lincoln like puts together a team of warriors to fight against like
Of
aliens.
Teenagers with attitude.
Yes, really. When that information came out, I saw people on Tumblr reposting the like, oh wow,
Lincoln
okay.
gets sworn
Yeah.
in.
I guess that's jumping ahead. Sorry, but I thought it was really funny. They were like, they tried to warn us.
It looks weird. It's a weird looking game, but I thought it looked interesting. I don't know. I'd give it a shot.
Yeah, I don't know. I would check it out too, but I didn't see enough of it to be like, gotta play that.
I haven't seen too much of it either, but from what I'm understanding, it's made by Intelligent Systems, so it's going to be good.
What else?
I hear some comparisons to Valkyria Chronicles with its like sort of turn-based actiony-ness, but also I hear like the art style, like not people are not fans of the art style, the art direction, and like Reggie even sort of touched up on that during the Treehouse today. He was like, I've seen online that people online are not understanding the graphics in this game or something like that. He said something along those lines. He pretty much tried to say that people online
Shut the fuck
thinks
up.
it looks like shit.
I don't think
Didn't
it
they?
does. But go on.
Didn't they say that it was influenced by like a comic book
Yeah,
style, like specifically Jack
Yeah,
Kirby and
they
Bruce
did.
Tim? So like, I'm down for
Yeah,
that.
I think
I don't
Maybe it was
know.
influenced by Powers.
I think the
Kingpin.
I think the box art that they revealed is like pretty generic, but I think in game it looks fine, and it looks like it has a lot of personality. I'm curious. It's piqued my interest. Not a whole lot. It's no Splatoon, but I think it looks cool. I'd play it.
I think I would have rather Splatoon as the like big mystery game instead. Cause like I don't know, I'm more interested in Splatoon.
I am too. I gotta say, but like Matt said, it's got my interest. It's got my attention enough that I would check it out.
It's just Intelligent Systems being attached to it is enough for me.
What
What
else
else?
is Intelligent Systems? Man?
Fire Emblem,
Fire
Paper
Emblem,
Mario.
Ah,
First,
all right, I'll check it out maybe.
never
Probably.
Sit down.
that's
America.
Advance Wars.
Oh yeah, they did make Advance Wars.
The last three things to touch on real quickly here are Miyamoto is working on some Wii U games that they didn't show in the conference, but they were on the show floor, and those are Project Guard, Project Giant Robot, and motherfucking Star Fox.
Yeah.
Two
What
of
we-
the three of those will make
Star Fox
great
needed
eShop
some
games.
fun.
What do we know about Star Fox?
Other
that they're
than
making
nothing, we know nothing. It exists. That's what
Yeah.
we know.
Mhm.
And that Miyamoto is working
Star
on.
Gyro
Fox
controls.
temperatures.
it? Miyamoto's working on it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yep. Miyamoto's making video games. Yes.
Does anybody else feel like they're kind of just like trying to give Miyamoto like stuff to do? Like,
Keep him busy.
Yeah,
like
busy work.
he's getting kind of old, and they're just like, ah, man, what can we give to Miyamoto?
Hey Miyamoto, how about some fucking robots? Why
Like,
don't
I
you
feel-
go
I
play
feel-
with those.
I feel bad because he's like one of the best game developers of all time,
One of?
if not the best. Yeah, exactly. So I don't know. I wasn't too impressed with Project Robot or Project Guard
Didn't he
personally.
say?
I was.
Yeah,
Didn't he say a while ago that he wanted to work on smaller projects? Like it was like
Yeah, he did.
maybe his dream project is Project Giant Robot. Like maybe
I'm-
he's
I'm-
always wanted to make a sumo wrestling robot game, and you're just shitting all over it. This is his dream,
I'm not
Ricky.
seriously-
This is his dream.
Listen, I'm not seriously suggesting that one of the biggest game developers in the world is so callous towards a living legend that they would just like throw crap at him. I'm sure
Like
that
he is
I'm
confirmed.
sure that Miyamoto is putting.
I don't know. Remember Capcom?
Man, don't.
yeah,
don't put
Kyle's
those guys-
not wrong though.
Why you gotta pour salt in that wound?
Yeah,
But no, you're right. Nintendo was going to treat Miyamoto with great kindness and appreciation until the day he dies.
yeah, of
Don't
course.
say that.
He can never
He'll
die.
never die.
He has to finish Project Giant Robot.
He's an immortal.
To me, like these games are very alpha state
They're
to me.
100%
Like,
Yeah.
alpha. They don't even have
entirely
names.
different by the time they actually.
Just because
come
he
out.
has a concept doesn't mean it's ready to be released. You know.
Right.
No, I'm not. Obviously, these games are not ready for prime time. But I mean, it wasn't like a Splatoon situation where I was like, immediately I was like, man, the core of this, I'm really looking. I really want to see more. I want to see the finished product. You know, with both Project Guard and Project
Giant Robot.
Giant Robot, I was just kind of like, yeah, all right. You know, they just didn't suck me in like everything else Nintendo announced.
Yeah.
Yeah. Alright.
That's I don't know. What you guys want to talk about? Project Robot, Project Giant Robot.
No,
No.
you pretty much said it all.
I don't really have anything to
All
say
I
about it.
saw was Reggie fighting a guy in a cardboard suit.
Sounds about right.
Honestly, all I thought when I saw Reggie moving like a robot and wearing those sunglasses, I just thought, I'll be back when my body is ready.
Reggie Fils-Aimé.
I just hope like Project Robot, Giant Robot controls a lot better because I mean clearly this is like alpha and shit.
Yeah, that's the thing. The motion controls don't excite me. I'm sure that's what they're like going for. That it's like you gotta move your body, and it's tough to control the giant robot. But it's like that doesn't sound fun to me.
Just 'cause it's hard to do.
It
doesn't mean
reminds-
it's fun.
Yeah, it reminds me of that robot fighting game on the Virtual Boy Virtual Boy.
Teleroboxer.
Yeah.
I do see a little of that. I will.
Uh-oh.
I'll be
There's this PS2 game that I played. It's called Rad Robotic Alchemic Drive, and basically
Yeah.
you play as a guy that plays as a robot.
honest. Is that the one with the crazy like control panel?
No, that's Steel Battalion. I'm pretty sure.
Okay, sorry.
This one is kind of obscure. It's made by Enix, and it's kind of notorious for having really, really bad voice acting. But I feel like they're going for sort of the same thing.
Bad voice acting.
No. Just like giant robots that are sort of clunky to control. Like in Rad, like it's a PS2 game, and like you play as a dude with what seems like a PS2 controller. It looks practically like it, except like the analog sticks are like
Reversed.
I don't know. They're not. They're legitimately sticks. They're not joysticks. They're like rods for like a RC thing. But you would like press the shoulder buttons to like move the legs of the giant robot, and then with the analog sticks you would move the arms of the giant robot.
Are you bringing this up because that's literally how Project Giant Robot controls?
No, I'm saying I feel like it's intentionally sort of awkward and clunky because
I'm not asking if you're speculating. I'm not asking if you're speculating that. I'm saying that is literally how Project Giant Robot controls. That is what they said.
Really? Like with the joysticks on the gamepad?
Yes.
Oh.
You move the joysticks. The joysticks are the arms, and the shoulder buttons are the legs. They said that in Treehouse.
Then what's the motion control?
I don't know.
Leaning
It's like leaning
forward,
forward or
like-
backward.
Leaning forward and like giving your punches momentum and shit.
Yeah.
Also, it kind of reminds me of that physics-based fighting game where everyone just falls over.
Yeah, I got a little vibe of that too. What is the name of that game?
I have no
Splat
idea.
Fighter.
That game is
Yeah.
hilarious. But yeah, I don't know, man. I want to get excited for it because it's Miyamoto, and like I love and respect that man. But it didn't grab me. It didn't. I'm not saying it looked like horrendous to me. It didn't offend my senses, but it just didn't grab me personally.
Project Guard seemed kind of interesting, but again, it needs like more meat to it.
Well,
Yeah, it looks
And it
just
will.
it's just Night Trap right now. Like,
Yeah, it's Night Trap Tower Defense.
yeah.
But also, it seems like a Nintendo Land game.
Yeah.
It does. It definitely does.
Like it could have been one, or like it's
Like it's just like a mini game. That's what it feels like.
Oh yeah, no, I get you. It seems like there's like Josh said, there's not enough meat to like make a whole game of it. So sorry, Mr. Miyamoto.
Yeah, we love you. I'm
He's
sure you're
already
watching this.
he's already off the Valhalla. He's fine.
he's tapped out.
No,
He's all out of mind grapes.
Miyamoto, bases games off of stuff from real life. Do you think that he has to guard his house using like security cameras?
Do you think someone broke into his house and that's why he made
Do you
the
think
game?
a giant robot
Someone
broke
broke
into his
into
house?
his
Yes.
Someone broke into his house and stole all of his ideas.
Wow.
Oh shit!
Rude.
But he's the one who stole the idea from that robotic Alchemic Drive game.
Or maybe they snuck in and took it from him.
And he just thought of it again, like 10 years later.
You guys,
It's robot.
All right, what else did they?
I like Miyamoto. I trust him to do well with those.
Oh, definitely.
things.
Yeah. I'm sure I'll check it out just because it's a Miyamoto game.
yeah. Same
I'm
here.
about done here. Yeah,
You don't want to talk about Fantasy Life
I
or?
don't care about either of those games.
I think Fantasy Life looks cool. I've been keeping my eye on that. The Japanese releases, and like, it just seems like it's a cool sort of Animal Crossing-esque casual kind of game with RPG elements.
Mhm.
They also, I believe, they announced the release date for the Professor Layton Ace Attorney crossover game.
Yeah, I'm very excited that that game is finally coming out in the States. It's already out in Europe, and I was really, I don't want to say I was worried, but I was nervous. I was like, they're not going to shaft us again, are they? Come on, guys. Level 5, I thought you were better than this. And it turns out we are getting it, so I can rest easy.
Is it digital?
I don't even care at this rate. But
yeah.
yeah, we gotta talk about going to talk about Amiibo.
Oh, Amiibo.
Oh yeah,
Should have called it
think
Amigo.
they
It's
should have.
thing
Get
that
the meat.
In one swoop they're like, "Hey, we just out Skylander Disney Infinity."
Yeah,
Man, the thing about Amiibo is like, Disney Infinity. They're a company in a great place to try and do their own Skylanders because they have so many famous properties and
Yeah.
stories and characters. I think of anybody other than Disney, Nintendo is probably in the second best position to do that. They have the monopoly on like memorable characters that are sadly lacking in cool toys.
Yeah,
Most
they
of
are.
them.
Captain Falcon.
So I'm pretty. I don't know. I want to get them all, and it's going to be so expensive. And I don't even know if I really want to use like.
But he said, like, I don't remember who it was that was presenting. Like, he was saying that like there's going to be a lot of them, and it might get a little pricey. So don't feel bad if you only need to buy, the couple that you really want.
Yeah, but I really want all of them. That's the problem.
Captain Falcon.
I think that there's going to be a lot of cool things that we could do with Amiibo, because it's not just like it's Skylanders or Disney Infinity, where it's like, you buy the figures, they work in this one game. These figures work for all sorts of Amiibo-compatible games.
Yeah, exactly. That's another
they
reason why.
go on.
Sorry, that's another reason why I think Nintendo is in such a good position to do this. Disney, because they already have the framework with all their consoles and their games. They're a game company, so
They're like, guess what? We already got the. You don't need a portal because you already bought one with your Wii U.
Eat
Yeah.
shit, Disney.
exactly. And I'm really looking forward to seeing what they do, especially now that they've announced they're going to use them somehow for Mario Kart 8, which is already out.
Diddy Kong.
Yeah.
That's my
Well,
bet.
like-
I'll bet Matt is going to get his wish and get Diddy Kong in the game after all.
I'm curious for like what other characters like Link or Zelda would do for like a Mario Kart.
They
like
probably
would they
won't do
unlock
anything.
another
They
cart?
probably won't do anything.
Yeah, you probably won't be able to use any figure for every game that supports them.
Right, but
Absolutely.
I don't know. Just thinking, like, what if they did do that? Like, I could see in Mario Kart 8, like, for Link, a Prancer cart, and instead of 2 horses, it's just Epona coming out. You know what I mean?
I don't
Like,
think
there's potential to do all sorts of funny things, but like, not all Amiibos will be working with all Amiibo games.
Yeah.
And I just think it's going to be really super interesting to see what happens.
Mm-hmm.
I made a
Like,
joke
all
about
right
this.
now is you got your Mario figurine, you got your Villager figurine, and they're gonna be usable in games.
I just
Oh my
realized
god.
the Luigi figurine's going to be like falling over.
Yeah, that's right. Because all of the Smash Bros. Figurines are in their like official artwork, and Luigi's is falling over.
That makes it work. By the way, speaking of Smash Brothers,
Dun 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 dun.
we've kind of managed to avoid talking about it until now.
Yeah,
Yes.
well, we
Mostly.
kind of, I would imagine we. Oh shit! There's a meteor coming. Oh no!
Community
Okay.
canceled.